It's LV Europa. Whatever you do, make sure you do it in the toughest environment. Mac Double. That's the only way we grow. Yo, roll call for them tough niggas who act inspiring. You can't hit the stage with my vets if you don't meet requirements. Heard you did all that work from the fifth to the first when I birthed your retirement. You hanging it up and it's still not enough in the toughest environment. Toughest environment, niggas will spit till they vomiting. Toughest environment, niggas will bring the piranhas in. Toughest environment, better be talking to scholarship. Toughest environment. Who the toughest, who the strongest, who the smartest? Hitting the stage, PowerPoint, and I'm going through papers regardless. Listen up, got a point to prove, but I'm moving on, cause you niggas retarded. Toughest environment, only up make you a target. You don't want that smoke, shit your body last week, run down on the whole Christina class with the pie. Oh my gosh, I think you the GOAT, no rigmarole. Still take total control, just put my shit at the top of the pole. For toughest environment. Listen, just get it, I'm still past a minute, I work every minute, and maybe I'm uncle with Chris and his thoughts, and I thought you should know that this ain't a scrimmage. And I'm shaping you right, molding you tight to be in the image of toughest environment. Yo,
Step in the HOK, you get raw form tough as it like and then we pulling up on them, putting in that word, trying to get your mind ready, trying to see your soul if the only one there. We do this for the babies, never give up on them. All of my people just know I got love for them. They say they want smoke, but they ain't ready. Find me in the studio, that's not there. Step in the HOK, you get raw form tough as it like and then we pulling up on them, putting in that word, trying to get your mind ready, trying to see your soul if the only one there. We do this for the babies, never give up on them. All of my people just know I got love for them. They say they want smoke, but they ain't ready. Find me in the studio, that's not there. They keep you by the system, better watch what you say to them. I do it for the shit, I know I gotta make a way for them. Carry them on my back like I take the gym. Never turn my back, you know I gotta lead the way for them. HOK, bringing conscious to the people, holla freedom. Furry giving knowledge, how we free them. Food for this, that's how we feed them. It's about to go down in the bed, Coliseum. They talk about smoke, they just blow. They don't want it when you see them. We ready all deep from the head to the bill. In the club, if it's a vibe, me, we take them to the deep things. Slum with the knowledge they been seeking. You need a hand, they been reaching. Really got my back when I need it. They walking dick, they been sleeping. Higher than the mountain, I'm peaking. Hold up from the cold down with all this beefing. Going for the people, it's the spirit they be seeking. Planet City, baby, front of leeches. Been in your bag when we speaking. Trap with that word, got that armor, yapping, it's the spirit we breathing. Sign it up with the other channels on them nine like the senses at a meaning. I'm in a yacht, no, they cannot be them. Shalom, families, and blessings, how we greet them. Step in the HOK, you get raw form tough as it like and then we pulling up on them, putting in that word, trying to get your mind ready, trying to see your soul if the only one there. We do this for the babies, never give up on them. All of my people just know I got love for them. They say they want smoke, but they ain't ready. Find me in the studio, that's not there.
Oh, you didn't know? This environment tough. 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 Policy scholarship. This is the knowledge you can't get in colleges. If you read from the Bible, obey the commandment and know who your mother and father is. Tune in to Sinetta, cause he the protector of the gods. I'm talking about Dr. Benjamin, Yusuf, Yacanan, and John. We got the scale of my art. If he light as a feather, let's go and weigh his heart. I am the shrine of Ptah. If you say I am, better recognize a god. All I see is pseudos and frauds. Kudos to my dogs. Shit judo for you frogs. I think it's time to hop off the environment. Oh, you didn't know? This environment tough. Oh, you didn't know? This environment tough. Oh, you didn't know? This environment tough. Oh, you didn't know? This environment tough.
Will survive, comedic knowledge on the rise, raising consciousness divine, to the truth we subscribe. Jabari leading the way, Shaka Amos don't play, Sonetta done open the gates, and up and banging the day. It's a family for the culture, rebuking all you vultures, toughest environment full of soldiers, unlock your mind, they'll expose you. HOK is the squad, debating the truth is a nod, watch where you step in the pod, or they'll tear you apart.
Oh, you didn't know? This environment tough. 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 Oh, you didn't know? This environment tough.
Hello, peace, assalamu alaikum, hotep, namaste, jambo, ashe, shalom, shalom, all the greetings of love and light to the darkest minds of the light. I am Napasha Da. Reality is simulated existence. This is Alchemizing Energy, DJ Genesis.
What's
Peace,
up?
DJ
What's up? What's up?
Yes.
What up?
Peace,
What up? What up?
peace to you. I have the sister here because we got some things to talk about. It's been building. It's been building. It's been building. Everybody knows that HOK is the place to come with all your information, all your ideas, all your doctrines and philosophies and science and breakdowns. But don't forget, it's also a lot of politics going on over here, right? Genesis, we talk about politics. And there's
Most definitely.
Thank you. And there's a side of the politics where we have, especially within our community, with our people, we have the gender wars. So we're going to talk about some things. We're going to critique some of our brothers who are leaders in some way or another in the communities. But for now, please hit the like button if you're here on the Coliseum. Yeah, please hit the like button. If you're watching Genesis on Facebook and on her channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, come on over, subscribe here. Everybody go on over, subscribe there. Now we got all that out the way. Peace to our mods. We're going to start with the Roy Bay. Peace, Caleb. I see you, and Gatewalker. Okay, so let's start with the Roy Bay clip, right, sis? We're going to start with that.
And we're going to start with that. There's a lot to unpack, though. There's a lot going on.
All right. Yes, ma'am. So let's get this up here. And also, of course, go subscribe to the House of Consciousness. Duh. If you're not subscribed already. But let's listen to this and see what Roy Bay's talking about.
ProGuard formula are 78% more durable than the leading brand. Awesome, but do you really need more durable liners?
I want y'all to deal with the state and the condition of the black woman.
You mentioned the term head of household. I'm tired of that head of household. You women are not the head of your households. You stop perpetrating the goddamn frauds.
Go ahead.
Because you a single parent, I ain't with all that. Listen, he said that. He said that. He said that. He said that. Okay, fine, no problem. Because you a single parent in the household, don't make you the head. First and foremost. How can you be the head of any damn thing, woman, when most of our women out here, their minds belong to another nation? So she is not the head. She's still a goddamn slave, and she's loving the plantation. And most of them, productively wise, right now today, listen, for the last, since talk shows been talk shows on American TV, from Phil Donahue and even
just for the sake of our channels, we're gonna pause. We're gonna listen to this all the way through, but we're not gonna go in just because I don't want YouTube, like they be tripping with my channel, like you didn't pause it and talk. So as you see what we're getting ready to unpack here, y'all. He is going in. Genesis, you want to say something real quickly and I can start it?
I just want to define head of household because he sounds stupid. Can we just bring this head of household with the definition?
You're going to do all that. Write that down. I'm going to let you come out with the first commentary. Yes. I just want to stop it. But you said enough because you said stupid. I told you this is the toughest environment. If you're listening, Roy Bay, don't get your feelings hurt. This is all business.
It might have seemed like it made sense what he was saying, but it's just a tax classification. And
thank you.
So what do you mean? Like what?
Exactly. But
it sounded good. Oh,
I'm gonna let you pull out because what we do over here, Genesis, we source up. So I know you always have your sources. So just put a pin in that, and we're gonna start up again. I just gotta pause it, even though it is the HOK.
The head of household, even if she ain't got no
you gonna listen to me today,
head of household.
You already okay. Let's start it up again. Okay.
Mike Wallace and Cups and Net in Chicago back in them days when Malcolm was here. We've been the topic, the so-called black male, been the topic on every major talk show in America. And most of the time, if the sister did not have a mind like Sister Soldier, Sister Shahrazad Ali, Sister Dr. Cress Wilson. She was on TV bad mouthing her Sister Ava Muhammad. She was on TV bad mouthing her brother. What they need to do, they don't do. But yet,
first of all, I'll say this. I personally know Sister Shahrazad Ali. She is a wonderful leader. These men misunderstand her. Nobody's dogging her out in her life. Check. No man, all the men in her life treat her with the utmost respect, and they treat her like a queen. So you got to look at sisters from where they're coming from. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have a Pookie and a Ray Ray in her life. And she teaches women and men how to keep that kind of energy out of their lives. So all this stuff about, well, we don't see Sister Shahrazad Ali doing it this and that way. Sister Shahrazad Ali isn't experiencing what another woman might be experiencing with Black men. You want to say anything before I start it up?
It just sounded like to me he just throwing a whole bunch of stuff. Hit a hellhole and Shahrazad Ali and then Sister Soldier. How you jump from the head of household to Sister Soldier, bro? First of all, clarify this over here. You said, then you can talk about that. First of all, clarify how women that are single mothers are not the head of household. Like, first of all, clarify that. Then jump over to Sister Soldier and all the other people and say that they're better, or whatever you want to say.
Right. And thank you. And again, I get his frustration. Maybe he's changed his perspective. This was a few years ago, but I doubt it, because this same rhetoric is fresh every day. They serve it up fresh every day, and we're going to see some of that with these other people in the manosphere. They done turned it into some other crazy octopus monster about no single mothers. What are you bringing to the table? Make it make sense. You want somebody to bring something to the table, but then you say you're not the head of the household. Huh? Anyway, let me start this up so we can play it. Keep it going. Keep it flowing.
she's the head of the household. We came out of her womb, and she's supposed to be our first teacher. So hell, in that sense of the word, if we ain't nothing as men, then what are you?
Let me go back, because he was criticizing that. He was saying that with sarcasm. So let's go back here.
We ain't nothing as men, then what are you as a so-called woman?
Hold on.
If we ain't nothing as men, then what are you as a? So hell, in that sense of the word, if we ain't nothing as men, then what they don't do. But
yeah, it don't matter how far you bring it back, it's bullshit stuff.
Pace yourself, grasshopper.
I'm trying to bring it back like it's gonna make other sense than what it's not making.
Wait a minute, okay, let me go back.
Sister Ava Muhammad, she was on TV bad mouthing her brother. What they need to do, they don't do. But yet, she's the head of the household. We came out of her womb, and she's supposed to be our first teacher. So hell, in that sense of the word, if we ain't nothing as men, then what are you as a so-called woman? Then you say, well, y'all got to pull up your pants out here. The men, we don't mind. You know what? I'm going to challenge the women. Let's have a contest. We're going to pull up our damn pants when you put on some damn clothes. Not the sisters here, because they look righteous. But I'm speaking in general. You can't be out here in 2015 wearing these motherfucking panties masquerading them as goddamn shorts. I got no business seeing all your goddamn flesh and the goddamn hairs off your goddamn vagina. But you gonna tell me be a real man when you got fake hair, fake breasts, fake nails, fake eyelash. Everything about you got today is artificial.
Cliche.
Those are just sensational talking points, because the same men will say, oh, they'll choose the one with everything he just named. They will choose her in a heartbeat over a sister who is natural.
Strip club and throw all kind of money on them.
So let's keep listening. Stop being hypocrites.
Real men to a bunch of big booty broke fake women. Get the out that.
And why is he bringing? We remember, take note. He said we're not head of household, but then he wants to put women down for being broke. So are they head of household? Because that means they're making all the money. Why are you criticizing them for being broke? And then saying, why do they think they're the head of? So you're basically saying you shouldn't have.
Sound like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Okay.
Right. So we have to break it all down. We're gonna have to break it down.
Yakety blase split. Okay.
That bull. The jig is up because the man is up and moving today. The jig is up. You see, you can tell by the nature of our conversation. We ain't psychologically asleep. Those of us out here communicating today over these cybernetic TV airwaves, our minds don't belong to another nation. Most of these got naked women who think a man, oh, he got his head in his crotch. But meanwhile, she's the biggest sex object walking. Every time she come out her goddamn
every day
she's
when you go
purveying
to,
herself in some sexual goddamn. She's a sexual predator. But she wanna.
He really, in seriousness, he just called women sexual predators because they dress a certain way. Let's go back because we're gonna have to get really serious.
Listen, ask him how many strip clubs he been to.
I don't even. It's not even about him personally. I'm gonna go in about
ask any man, like how many strip clubs he.
Well, we're gonna talk about strip clubs wouldn't make money if men weren't the primary customer.
And guess what? Those women are probably head of household when they file their taxes.
Yeah, but the thing that really is disturbing is that he called women sexual predators. He actually had the audacity to call women, especially Black women, who are disappearing by the 30,000s per year. And that's just lowball, who are just getting unalived and an SA'd. We're going to be careful. They're getting SA'd for no reason. A Black woman got SA'd in a Uber because she didn't want to engage with the driver. He unalived her. We got to be careful. He unalived her, took her to the bushes of about a mile from where she lived, where he's supposed to drop her off, SA'd the corpse, and left her there. So what? And he picked her up at a strip club. So he thought it was okay for him to proposition her. This is the problem right here that this brother is propagating. He's pushing this out there. Why are you calling this woman? Why are you villainizing women because they have cleavage or shorts on? Why are you saying they're sexual predators? I'm gonna scroll back and let you hear that. That
was crazy. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. Please, Senator, stop disaster. I mean, we went to Italy with that. A disaster.
Yeah, this is wild, right? Like
Leslie Smith says this is a disaster.
But really, think of how sad it is that he's making the victims actually saying the victims are the predators. Listen to this.
Another nation. Most of these got naked women who think a man, oh, he got his head in his crotch. But meanwhile, she's the biggest sex object walking. Every time she come out her goddamn house, she's purveying herself in some sexual goddamn manner. She's a sexual predator.
First off, your perspective, that's his perspective. Everything he just said, the terribly egregious and terrifying statement that women who are the ones who are actually SA'd on a high level and unalived, he called them predators because of what they're wearing. Is that any different than saying, well, she shouldn't have been wearing those shorts and he wouldn't have SA'd her? Isn't that the same thing?
I mean, he wouldn't be able to make it in Africa, honey, because, when it's hot, you never know what they're going to probably have on.
Bingo. Or the Caribbean.
Come on now. We were in America where we got the luxury of multiple seasons. When you in like the over there where it's super hot at in the desert and stuff like that. Now he's Islamic, right? So I don't know what he's a Moor. Moor. That's a Moor. Okay. So in Islamic culture, okay, they might put like burqas and all kind of wild like
beekeeper outfits
right on a woman. And you know what I'm saying? And so, okay, you a sexual predator, you wearing all that. Don't wear a burqa and don't have on no extra stuff on in the heat and all. But bottom line is, I'm sure that if they have on shorts, it's probably hot outside. Probably very hot. You know what I'm saying? If they have on this stuff, they're not out in the winter with that on. It's probably hot. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying, we are so ashamed of ourselves because of like this doctrine that we believe in have taught us to be ashamed of our bodies. But if there was not like an initial like thought of like being like ashamed of ourselves and our bodies that God gave us, we wouldn't. Guys looked at women's bodies and was unable to control themselves. They had to cover them up.
Yeah, that's thank you.
We're in it's we in the desert. Why I gotta put on a
Whose
whole
fault is that, Genesis?
beekeeper outfit
If
on
I
just
look
to
at you,
control myself?
let me use this. Wait, Genesis. Okay, I'm not a cannibal, but let's say hypothetically in a fantasy world, I'm a cannibal and I love to eat people, like literally eat them up. And I see you, and you look delicious. Is it your fault?
You're a predator. You're a predator making yourself look delicious to me. You a predator. How dare you look so delicious? You making me want to eat you up. And
Right.
now
This is madness.
What?
They don't get it. It's your problem that you.
Angela Reddick says in the U.S., Black women are 6 times more likely to be deleted than white women.
Yes, ma'am.
And the purpose usually their intimate partner or relative per 2024 university study. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's the Black woman that's the predator. That's why she has a booty out and it's so scrumptious. I just can't control myself, and they need to cover their body because I can't control it. And they're the predator of everything. Like, come on now. He just real crunk, but he need to have a church or something. Like, bro, like all you need to do is put your head over somebody's head and just make them pass out after you get done with that speech.
Yeah, and our brother Jerome Hunter said, I don't agree with a lot of the egotistical stuff. Satire is a part of any movement, though. Yes, my friend, I don't know if you're talking about what he's saying, but that's not satire. He's surgical doctor diagnostic. Come in my office. I'm gonna tell you what your future is. These are your test results. Serious. Please, like, we do need healing. Peace to King Simon. Peace to you. Let's keep listening. And
I don't see. I agree with Miles Apparel, but it goes for both sexes, bro. When you listen, people need to cut that out. All that stuff is materialism, and you need to be able to control yourself no matter what the heck is going on. You know what I'm saying? A woman should be able to stand there. You know, in Africa, they have like certain ceremonies where the women are completely topless. You know
of
what
course,
I'm saying?
not just Africa, in the Caribbean.
And they're not out there, you need to cover yourself. Oh, Lord. And why are we over here acting like we can't control ourselves? And why are the people in the Middle East where all this like the Islam come from, why can't they control themselves? Why is it all on the woman? Well, you ain't the head of household, and what is going on?
You know what the thing is? Oh, in the Black manosphere. Okay, I got you, brother. So let me say this though. Yes, control, and let's go beyond that. We have to break this very strong program. Even good men, so-called, I'm doing air quotes, good men think, oh, she didn't wear a bra today because she wants me to see her breast. Maybe she didn't want to wear a damn bra. They're annoying. They're itchy at times. They hurt your shoulders after if you like. No, I really want to get this out. Like,
back be hurting.
Yeah, your back hurts. It's like there was a woman that hit. The reason I'm saying that is there's a woman who hit our panel last year, and she was so sincere. And she said, Napa, I went to go get some food at a church for my dad, my uncle. He was sick, and we went to it. So we were staying in a hotel. She went out to her background, and she said, and she was an attractive woman. We saw her picture. So she was an attractive young lady. And she said, I went to get food at the church, and the first time I went, I had on a bra. And then my uncle wanted more food. So I went back, and I was, you know what it's like, Jen. She's relaxed, comfortable. Me, I'm going to put on a bra because I know.
Pull her out. It might have got a little cold and chilly in there, and the nipples were probably.
She came in bouncing. She was bouncing and coming in like, I need more food. And the men in the church said, you know what you're doing.
Was she bouncing though? She probably just was.
She said she was jiggling along. Hey, we jiggle. Guess what? We jiggle. We're women. We jiggle. We jiggle. We have an extra layer of jiggle on us. We jiggle. We bounce. That's what we do, right? Like what they want us to do. Walk like
I never like looked at myself in the mirror to see if I'm jiggling. I probably am jiggling all over.
All women jiggle. Okay, even the ones who try not to jiggle, unless you are like a bodybuilder with no jiggle at all, you jiggle, and even they jiggle. Like we're women. So, but the guys, the thing that was so poignant, it was so sad and so deep to me that they say, You know what you're doing. I hate that statement. No, you think I'm doing it. So you tell me what you're doing is projecting your feelings onto the person that you don't even know. You can't read anybody's mind. Does that mean that women don't know their sex appeal? No, that doesn't mean that. So don't get simple on me out there. Stay with me, darkest minds of the light.
You know what you doing to me.
Yeah.
How you making me feel up inside my loins.
Yes. Now we know. Wait. But we do know
to my lower self.
Okay, wait. We do know when we're deliberately doing that, but we don't always just go out and be like, today I'm gonna make some men real turned on and hot and bothered.
Bro, at the nightclub, maybe, but at the grocery store and you're trying to buy some potatoes, no.
Thank you. Now, it depends, of course, on everybody, and I've seen sisters bending over when they, with knees locked. You know that bend, like knees locked and bent over to pick something up instead of like bending your knees to get it.
Honey, but I ain't gonna say that either, because sometimes my knees be locked when I'm pushing that cart and my back be hurt. And I'll be pushing that cart bent over, looking, probably jiggling, all kind of wild stuff, probably looking crazy and stuff. And
She know what she's doing. Say you're doing it on purpose. Look at her in here,
bent over, pushing that cart.
She know what she doing to me. Look how she picked up them cucumbers and eggplants and put them in a basket. She know what she doing. I'm serious. Like one time I didn't know. I was younger, and I promise you, I had to get older and figure it out. I was buying some cucumbers in the store, and this man who worked there in the produce said, "Oh, you gotta really squeeze the end of the I swear I recently realized that he might have been doing something sexual. I literally thought he was straight.
Cucumber.
He's telling me that tells you if it's fresh or not.
No.
I'm not trying to do. Okay, so Netter, he said, "Don't be talking about sex."
OnlyFans level, like what were you?
But for me, I thought it was like he could have been serious. But now when I look back as a grown woman, and because I was like a teenager or younger, and I'm like, that man could have been putting me out there on blast, like
a complete creep. But this guy, hell, you ain't that
laughing at me. My
you
point
know
is
what they're doing.
Yeah,
they are
do.
Trying to be a predator.
Damn, but let's go. Okay, so with that said, let's go back to the video and listen to the.
He sound like he could be from down south. He ain't from New York. He could be from like deep south, like Louisiana, like at the bottom of it. Like
he looks like Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
And I mean that in a good way. Martin Luther King Jr. is attractive.
I have a dream.
But doesn't he look like Dr. King, especially with his finger up like that?
I have a dream.
And brother, if you're listening to us,
their panties on.
Right, babe. It's all respect, but we got to go in on this because you're going in.
Showing their panties off, showing their booties jiggling. Oh,
I have a dream that one day, little girls in beekeeper outfits will join hands with boys who can wear whatever they want. Okay, so let's get back to listening to him go in on sisters calling women. This is serious.
Moo-moos for everyone. Moo-moos and caftans for all the women in the world.
Yes. Mummies, wrap them up in mummy. Anyway, but this is serious. You can't call women predators. That is a big deal. If we're joking and kind of like lightly saying things, but when we get to him saying these women those statistics that those sister mentioned, thank you for putting that up there. If you look at the actual reality of women being unalived for looking sexy, you would be as appalled as we are listening to him say that women are predators because of what they wear.
Bro,
communicating today.
I'll see a woman's behind jiggling a caftan and a moo through the whole thing. Like,
honey,
vision. Trust me.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? They will
those hijabs, those booties jiggling in you can't hide it. No. So where do we draw the line? How about we just stop objectifying women? Because Brother Bay, and to all the brothers out there, we're going to talk about who's paying for these services, who's keeping these businesses open, these clubs and these porno websites.
Who's buying the outfits for the women? Some of these men are buying these outfits for the women to look sexy in.
Who's the number one? We hear about madams I got to be careful saying P. Oh, I'm gonna say corn instead of P. The P, I'll say corn. Who's the so-called pimp of these women?
I'm gonna say this. Listen, when I was younger, I was walking. That's a young thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Then when you get older, boobs start going down to the leg, to the thighs and the knees. Then you put your moo on. You know what I'm saying? But when you got the tight body and everything's all tight, okay, you know it is. You young. Go ahead, be yourself. Like come on now, because it's gonna all just drop down anyway. It's all going.
Yeah, she's gonna miss her time. She's gonna miss her moment where she could be perky.
Go ahead and walk around and be cute, whatever, because it's gonna end. It's not gonna be, and it's gonna just droop. The moment you have children, they're gonna just.
Some of them don't. Some of
all
them
that and everything. So.
But some of the younger women are showing it, and they got all. The point is, your body is your body, and if you're not being offensive, now don't get me wrong. I've told women, I don't think it's sanitary with monkeypox to wear short shorts and sit around in the public, because you can transmit some type of skin disease or disease. That's a different topic. I don't think people can wear what they want to wear. You shouldn't wear short sleeves either. If you're going to talk about that, like this brother over here with his shorts on, if there's monkeypox around, he's going to get it.
And you can see his whole print right there. People don't even talk about that.
Oh Lord. Okay. See,
Genesis, the right hand side.
I'm gonna start this up now. Stop.
Over these cybernetic TV airwaves, our minds don't belong to another nation. Most of these goddamn naked women who think a man, oh, he got his head in his crotch. But meanwhile, she's the biggest sex object walking. Every time she come out her goddamn house, she's purveying herself in some sexual goddamn manner. She's a sexual predator. But she want to act like all a man wanted some goddamn. And as soon as you go up in one of our goddamn sisters, she oohing and on, and now you can't get rid of her. Tell me.
Oh, interesting. So the way he's talking about women, I wonder if he has women in his life. When you go up into one of your goddamn sisters,
now you can't get rid of her. Is that what he just said?
Yeah, why would you want to get rid of her? I thought you're righteous. Why would you want to get
rid of her? And liking it, and now she just can't get rid of her.
Why would you want to get rid of her so she can be called a whore and she can pass around? You want to pass around. See, this is very telling. And let me say this too. When he's talking about women and how they are objective, they're the biggest sexual object. No, we're not sexual objects, but guess what? We represent sex. Yes, we do. You know why? Because sex is reproduction, and we're the ones that carry the babies. That's where people like him, unfortunately, start to corrupt it and objectify us. When you see a woman, no matter what she's wearing, she could be wearing the burqa, she could be wearing a hijab or the niqab, she could be wrapped in a beekeeper's suit. You know that is a woman, and she represents reproduction. Yes, it takes two, but the representation of reproduction should be something respected and revered. But these men, I'm including you, Roy Bay, you so have such hatred. You have a deep resentment for women that you've been programmed to have that hatred, unfortunately, because I'm sure you love women in your family, but you've been programmed to see women with their cleavage or their hips or their shorts. You've been programmed to see them as trying to manipulate you or trick you into something, literally. But that's your problem, sir. Go ahead, Genesis. What you want to say? You there?
I just wanted to address, as much as he talking, like the whole dude in the back, like commando style the whole time. Like, bro, saw the whole thing.
I don't want to keep drawing attention to that.
Commando going, no, because he talking about women and how they got they like booties out. But this dude's over here ain't got even no drawers on and got like his little khakis on with no drawers on.
Bro. Well, yeah, well, that could be keys in his defense, but I don't want to focus on his crotch. Talk to me about what he said.
But I'm gonna just say this: is that okay? So he's saying that you just oohing and on, you just can't get rid of her.
That's scary.
And he's an adult. This is not high school. This is not, like we're in like puberty where guys are just kind of like just sowing their seeds and like just kind of like jumping from this. You're like in your probably 30s, I think. He's in his 30s when you're saying this.
Well,
And the thing is, I could only imagine he probably has kids by now. I think this was probably done in like
this
2015.
is 2015.
Right. It's 2025 right
10
now.
years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago.
He probably have kids. So what do they look like?
And a wife.
He has a wife. Okay. I'm sure that they are not following everything that he's saying to these women.
Well, yeah.
So when he cleaved into his wife, and did he want to get rid of her after she oohed and ahhed and liked it? And come on, now that's stupid.
Yeah, that's terrible.
People,
Wow.
when they're in this age group, right? That like kind of probably early 30s, going into like their whatever, and their 20 whatever, they have so much to say. They know everything, but they be wrong. But they the loudest ones. Let me tell you what it is. You come on now.
Yeah.
Then they finally settle down, and everything just goes out the window that they just got finished saying.
Yeah. Our men didn't have this kind of idea about our women. I'm going to go all the way back to the 60s.
Bull. Okay,
Hmm?
BS. Because the men in the 60s and all these times, because they always want us to go back. We need to go back to the olden days and how it was. And all it was grandma was accepting that grandpa had a whole family on the other side of town. Okay. And she just dealt with it because she couldn't get a credit card. She couldn't buy a house. She couldn't do nothing because the laws didn't allow her to get the heck away while this guy was doing all this wild stuff over here, having another family, doing all this, doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Then the laws changed and now they're mad. We need to go back to then how it was then because these women out here are out of control. They thinking for themselves and they buying houses and they going to school and getting schooling and man, this just stuff sound like Mister. He need to be on Color Purple.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is this thing that's picking up about there's always been a certain way where men would say to women, you're not demure, you're not dressed right for a long time. But what I'm saying is where men it's more of an anger. When I said the 60s, I'll say the 60s, 70s, even the 50s, they didn't have an anger, this deep-seated anger and I'm going to say hatred toward their own women. Like the way the brother, I know he probably means well, but it's just spewing more hatred and more hate rhetoric against women. Like you're not being tough on us. You're looking like someone that hates women. You look like someone who hates women. Yeah, this isn't tough. Any woman in her right mind would hear you say this and leave you alone. I mean, not even come near you because you just said once you have sex with her, she won't leave. You can't get rid of her. So you want to have sex with women and leave them. And
right,
that's
right. And then you the head of household after I leave you. You ain't the head of household.
Yeah, that's a problem in our community. And we're going to get to that too with this no fugazi single mother against the yada. And yeah, you brothers are leaving women and they think it's okay. We have someone who is self-proclaimed as one of the biggest leaders of Black consciousness and Black people, calling himself the King Kong of Black consciousness, Dr. Umar Johnson, always saying how we need to be there for the children and men need to be accountable. We have his daughter coming out saying you weren't even in her life. And she's 23. So all this rhetoric that we see these men spewing, my brothers who will lead well, don't believe this crap. Because these men have a hatred for women. I'm not saying Dr. Umar. These men like Roy Bay have a hatred for women because something that happened to them personally. But like Genesis said, we don't know what they're doing in their lives. We don't know what Roy Bay does. I don't know what he does in his life, but I could tell you one thing. I know he sees women as sexual objects.
Thank you. And then you have this person, Jesus Justice League. I agree with y'all, but old girl, she freaky. But okay, now this guy.
Girl, what? I didn't hear. You're low.
Old girl, she freaky. Okay.
Who?
That's what he said. Jesus Justice League.
Who's freaky?
I guess talking about me. But my thing is, I don't care because I'm like, bro, this guy.
How are you freaky?
Because I called out the dude in the background.
Yeah, let's not point that out anymore. But that doesn't make you freaky, though.
But let me just say this. I was just making a point because I'm like, bro. You're talking about women walking around with shorts on, but guys be having their own level of like They might not wear Daisy Dukes, but they be having their own little way of like, being on display. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see these guys out here with their gray sweatpants on and oh Lord, and let me get on the mic and talk. We don't be doing all that. But the men, I say outrage, and they got these weaves in their head, and they putting on these.
Oh, let's finish listening to that. I don't mean to cut you off. Let's get to the end of it.
But hold on, I'm gonna just say this.
No, go ahead.
He said because I checked the dude's package. Listen, he checked on a whole girl because she have her thing and call her a predator because she had on what she had on.
Yeah.
Now I can say that somebody's being a predator because they don't wear drawers, whatever. So my thing is that like why is it cool when it's cool when I do it, but it's a problem when you do something, whatever.
Okay, no, that's a good point. Hold that thought because I want to get to this, and then I'm going to get to what Jesus said. Jesus said as a response, Tobere Obazenu said, in today's society, a lot of women are looking for love with money instead of loving a man. There is negative rhetoric on both sides. Well, first off, let me say this from my standpoint and from what I've seen in my experience and teaching and my opinion, of course. Women are hypergamous. We should be looking for stability. I wouldn't say money. Some women have needs for other things. When you want to settle down with a man and you want to have a family, these men want to be leaders, right? I don't know if Tobere is a woman or a man. I'm assuming it's a brother. You want to be leaders. You want us to look at you as leaders. You want us to look at you as the one who is the head of the household. That's what he was complaining about. I can't look at you as the head of the household if you're not making anything possible. You can't fix our home. We can't be stable. We're homeless. We don't have any money. Our kids are hungry. We have to look to other people to feed our children. So there's nothing wrong with women looking for love with money. Remember that, ladies. And you don't have to be looking as a gold digger. If he doesn't have a job or he's trying to sleep on your couch and he doesn't have any ambition, because you don't have to be rich. I say, I don't look for somebody who's rich. I look for somebody who knows how to hustle, who knows how to make money, not have money. He has to know how to keep.
I don't believe that women are hypergamous.
Well, we could talk about that later, but I mean, you could come in and tell me why you don't think women are hypergamous. For me, it's a natural from the beginning of time. Remember, we're the ones that have the babies. So if we are having the babies, what do animals do besides humans? They look for places to safely make their nest, right? We need stability.
If women were hypergamous, you wouldn't have all these women having so many children by these deadbeat dudes.
We're dysfunctional. No. We're hypergamous. But
hold on, I'm also say this is that you know how many women are dating people in prison and that are in and out of prison, and that's not her hypergamy. To me, they would never get nothing. If women were hypergamous, we wouldn't even have children because it's only 1% of the people that's actually, especially in the Black community, that's actually doing anything. We would be waiting on whoever is like, I'm waiting on Chris Brown to like see me one day. We wouldn't be over here talking to old dude at McDonald's.
See, this is the point, though. What you just said is absolutely correct. We're dysfunctional. We're dysfunctional. We're naturally hypergamous. That's my take on it. Yes, you're right. But there's a reason women are choosing. I'm gonna tell you, you hit it on the head. I watch Twisted Crimes. Please go subscribe to that channel. You will watch that channel. You can watch it from morning to night, and every single story, I'm gonna say 98% of the stories, there's a beautiful woman with a business. She has everything together. I mean, she's gorgeous. She's loved. She has a lot of friends, great social life. She's making her business and making money, looking good every day.
Meet Jerome after 20 years in prison.
Thank you. Hold on. Nope. Hold on. That doesn't mean we're not hypergamous, but something's wrong with us. They always choose the guy that just got out of jail or the guy that
proves we're not hypergamous because of the fact that she could have easily tried to go after the guy that had all the money, whatever.
No, we're not. Listen, I'm agreeing with you, but I want to get on the same page with you. We aren't being hypergamous, but I'm saying we are naturally hypergamous because guess what? Hypergamy isn't just money. They're looking at the guy that's tough, that's strong. Oh, he's the big bull. He talks a lot. See, that's something that we choose men too. If you pick the biggest guy in the room, the strongest guy, the guy who's bossing everybody around, that's hypergamy. So we're looking at, because of who we are as Black, and this is there's no right or wrong. This is my opinion. You keep your position. I love it. No, we not echo chambering right here, but just hear me out. So look, we're picking the guys that are like, we knew from slavery, nobody has any money. So what other part of hypergamy am I looking at? Oh, he's the boss. He's the strongest one. He could protect me. He could keep us safe. So we're looking more at the guy that we're not, because there's so much poverty and we're coming from the lower class, lower income, class bracket. So we're looking at what else can he do? Oh, he's got all the guns. He's got all the people following him. He's the big gully guy. Everybody's following him. And we choose that guy.
Well, what if you actually make a lot of money and majority of the Black men? I believe that it's because that we have a small pool of men to deal with. And so therefore we end up having to like kind of go down and like settle a certain way.
Yeah. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you for everybody's. Thank you. We're gonna keep this going about that conversation, but I want to get back to the video with him, with Roy Bay, and then we got to go into the other people. Thank you for your input, Genesis. I wanted to get back to something though, where the brother had asked you. I'm going to move on from the hypergamy thing and jump. We're going to bounce back and forth. He said, it ain't that what I love it. Thank you for your input, everybody. He said, ain't that what we're accused of? You mean looking? Nothing's wrong with looking. Look at women love to be looked at. We love to be admired. Nothing's wrong with looking. It's when you start looking and saying, look at that hoe. She deserved to get raped. She deserved to get, these, like how he's doing. He's no longer looking. He's putting a jacket on somebody saying that they're predators because they're wearing coochie cutters.
Let me tell you what you could do with a predator. You don't feel as bad knocking that predator down. That's a way to put a title on something.
Bingo. Say that again. Oh my God. Let me take this off.
When you go in for the kill for that thing, you don't feel the guilt about that. I just used her for what I thought, because I labeled her in my mind as a predator because she's wearing this and she's walking around a certain way, and now she's a predator. So therefore, I don't feel as bad as that's why. Oh, she's oohing and on. Now she want to be with me and she won't leave and all, whatever he just said. You know what I'm saying? Why? Yes. Because he looks at a woman like a predator. When she's oohing and on, he's disgusted by that because he's like, you're a predator to me.
Yeah, she's the enemy, and it makes it easier to do. Let me talk to this brother right here. This is my brother forever. Justice for Tasia. His daughter Tasia Dye was again perfect example. Beautiful, ambitious, intelligent. She's doing activism with her father. This brother is boots on the ground in his communities. Please go subscribe to his channel. And Tasia, beautiful young woman. What happened? A conscious community, not just a predator, a conscious community predator. Talking about Black power and we need this and we need. Took her and took this woman's life. And what people will do is, and shout out, my heart is always with you. You know that, Brother Lawrence, New Black World Order. But what people will do is they'll look at the sister, they'll scrutinize. Even when I told you the channel Twisted Crimes, Genesis and everybody, you will look in the comments. Usually it's very loving people. Like it's mostly, I could tell it's predominantly women. But sometimes you'll look in the comments when it's a woman, and this has nothing to do with Tasia, because Tasia was nothing like this. So I'm not associating it to any woman that I just mentioned just now. But some of the women will be young, very young, and they'll be into gangs and stuff, hanging out with the wrong guys. And you'll see some people saying, play stupid games, get stupid thing, or they'll be like, F around and find out. And it's messed up because no,
the part that's sad is these people will go into the household and be man, he was the best guy ever. He was so cool and so nice. And and that person will just snap. That's the danger of dating people that especially if they have like that prison, because you never know what a person went through in prison. And I've heard they'll throw you into the hole for like months on like 6 or
That'll
7
mess
months.
your brain up.
It makes you have a psychotic break. So when you're dealing with these people, then you get mad and you might be popping off. And a lot of these women be popping off on these dudes, and they on some, listen, I'm not going back to prison. So I'm just they in their mind they make it up. I'm not going back to prison. So it's gonna be it's gonna be the end. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing you gotta like know about these men. When you get a person that probably got 3 strikes or 2 strikes, and you up there yelling at them, whatever, and they do something, they get the, if they hit you, they gonna get their 3rd strike, go to jail for life anyway. They might as well just go ahead. So you gotta be very careful about how you be popping off at these dudes, because they really be aggressive and be having issues and stuff like that. So you have to be very careful about these men in prison.
Thank you for saying that, because you know what, you're right, and it's not even. You don't even have to pop off. I say just steer clear, because don't forget the sister who was coming out the liquor store, the bodega in New Jersey. He was like lit coming. He was going in there to grab another bottle or something. She's coming out. He's gonna tap her on her behind. That happened to me before, and it wasn't tapping. I was standing in the line at a liquor store, and this dude was acting like he's trying to reach. He was behind me, but he acted like he was trying to reach on grab a piece of gum. You know how the gum is right in front when you go to buy something, it's under the counter. You know what I'm saying? Like in the front by your knees, they'll have like candy and chewing gum and stuff. But I was in front of him and he was waiting behind me. You can't wait till you get to the front and do that. He leaned forward and I could feel him touching my booty with like his shoulder. I went crazy, which I could have gotten,
It's his booty with your shoulder. He been down, or how did he touch his booty?
So he's standing directly behind me. I'm in front of the counter, like about to pay for my stuff. The cashier's looking at me. I'm looking at the cashier. I'm out. My stuff is on the counter. Right below the counter, by my knees, there's candy like gum, chicle, all kinds of gum. Right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Right. But we're predators. We ain't doing no crap like that.
Yeah, they do it all the. So he leaned forward, like while I'm waiting, and kind of bent down. You know how you go down to get it, but he let his arm on the left.
And probably took a whiff and everything, like a dog.
I don't know. You're so funny. That's why they call you a freak. You need to stop being so creative. Okay, stop being observant and creative. Look, the point that I'm making is, the natural reaction is to bug out. But then after, I was like, oh my God, he could have been crazy. He was already drunk. You could smell the liquor on him. So the thing that you said, you got to be careful. Sometimes you could just be minding your business, and you just say anything like, hey, what are you doing? If they will violate you.
Well, all the way.
But see, the thing about me, this is back. My husband was outside waiting in the car though. So I was like, I was talking crazy. I was, I don't like that. Don't touch me. I went bananas. I was like, what is wrong with you? Call the police. And my husband's outside. You better not come out this door. And so, but I'm laughing. But what you said is you can't flip out on them.
I'm going to tell you this, a person that's talking like this guy, it really hurts my heart to hear men speaking so hateful against women. It hurts my feelings. I'm like, you know what? Why do you hate us so much? It really hurts. When I really think about that, it's like, man, we love you guys. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about the thoughts that we have of like, we one day want to be married and love, and we sometimes, even as a woman, I be thinking, well, I want to have a man, I want to do this for them. I think about like doing things for my husband and all this other stuff. But when you hear this, it makes you like, what, man? Fuck these niggas. You start to get pit, like what? You know what I'm saying? Because you grew up like, because the way that women are brought up, we're brought up in this kind of fairy tale, like she says, fairy tale thought of doing things and really being almost servant. Because the way I was raised, my brother's wife was like, she would cook for him and do this, and so I was raised with a whole like ideal of what a wife should be. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I grew up in a house like that.
Hey, take care of
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah.
Do this, do that, and it's so crazy to even my grandma, like my grandpa come out there, hobble out to the table, she cook his food, they sit down, watch TV. So I had like this ideal of like relationships that is just so like not realistic nowadays, and then to hear how men are saying this stuff, I was like, it breaks my heart because I've always looked like wanted like a certain like had this fantasy of like a relationship in my mind, and
Yeah.
it
Well, we're gonna, and you know what? I'm sorry to hear that you're not alone with that. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to hear that. A lot of women, their bubbles are being bursted. Not to sound insensitive, but it's where we got to get back on track. This is the thing. I'm gonna and you want to hold women accountable.
and also especially like being a Christian woman, you were like almost raised to be a servant to the man.
Well, there's nothing, guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. But let me say this to these men. First, you have to be a provider. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to ancient times and then past recent times in the 20th century, in the 1900s. You brought the food home and she cooked it. She didn't go get the food, come home and cook it and talk about we can make you work, baby. We can do it. We can do it. And she's always building you up. Well, you don't understand. It's hard for a black man out here. I do understand, but guess what? It's hard for a black woman out here too. You got to take some responsibilities. The pity party is over. And I love my brothers. They know some men are out there saying, thank you. I don't need any pity. I love you. Stop crying like babies, like newborn baby birds, new hatched out of the egg. You have to bring the food home and let her cook it if you want somebody to bow down to you. If you want her to meet, when my first marriage, God is my witness, and so are my children and my family. I would make sure the door he didn't even have to put a key in the door. Okay. He was working. He worked. He came home and the house was ready, smelling good with food, clean children, his shit done, ready. I would get up at 4 a.m. to make his lunch. And I'm talking about cook it. And his breakfast. So if you want to be served, start being servable.
Make it easier for the woman to serve you. If I'm working like and busting my behind, I'm not gonna feel like serving you at the end of the day. Like bro, I work too. Like, okay, you got off from work. You tired. I'm tired. We just both got off work. Like, well, we need to let's just do DoorDash. Goddamn it, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sorry, my language. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, but you're right. That's right. That's a good point.
We're both working. Like,
but you're not going to serve him like that if you're working. I hate to break the news to people. That's why I said about hypergamy. Let's be real. You're not going to serve him because look what you just said. You said, let's do DoorDash. He's going to go on the internet when you go to sleep and talk about, I'm tired of you women doing DoorDash. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something even deeper. There was a whole thing called it was a whole thing called the what you call wife that was on TikTok, right? Trad wife. And there was a whole complaint thing going on where these women had spent 25 years married, right? And then they get a divorce and they spent their whole lives being a trad wife, right? But then when that divorce hit, bro, this person had no skills, nothing. And he goes off into whatever. Now he might be playing a little what's it called? Alimony or whatever. Sometimes they fight against it and then you don't get that much. But imagine you dedicate your whole life to this man and building him up to his bit. I mean, because when women are involving a man's life, and I've done this, I have put so much into a person. I spent like almost 4 years building up this guy. And I mean, his boat business, his real estate business, everything. I mean, everything I could do, putting it together, whatever, right? But then when he just decided that, he found whatever new hot thing, then I was no longer. And then he began to pit me against this person, asking different women. It was crazy. But anyways, the whole thing happened, and then I was gone, and all the work I had put it's hers, and I'm over here. I got to start from zero.
Yeah, that's a common thing. You heard what Mary J said. I was your lover and your secretary, working every day of the week. 11 years. Look, that's a common story, but that's why the younger women or women who haven't yet experienced that need to hear women tell them, look, you don't have to not do it, but have your own stuff. Let me answer Caleb. And you have your own stuff, and you don't have to, look, brothers, close your ears. This is what my grandmother told me, my mother, and they were all trad wives, submissive wives, dealing with poly. You don't need to tell him everything that you have. That's dumb. That's not dumb. I wouldn't call you dumb. Excuse me. That's naive. You know why? Because he doesn't need to know. You're not doing anything wrong. And women do this anyway. Let me talk
some money into the side just in case.
Yeah, let me talk to you about that. Women do that, and then when things go bad, he doesn't leave. She'll pull something out. I've done it. She'll pull something out and say, "We still got this," and he's like, "What? Oh, baby, thank you." So it's not something negative. You don't need to tell him everything that's in the pot. Okay.
I mean, I know a person that actually was a couple. They was married, and they stayed together, and this, that, the moment that child turned 18, he said, "Listen, that's it, divorce." And she was a housewife.
But wait a minute, there had to be something else going on there.
I'm sure he probably was irritated. That's the thing, is that these men don't really be liking the women. They don't be liking who they with. See, a lot of times men will still stay with you based on convenience, but they really don't like you. But just because it's convenient, they'll still stay with you. So they'll play the long game, stay with you all the way till the end. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that everything that whatever, and then they get that midlife crisis going. They're about 50 years old, and you done turn 50, you're getting old, whatever, and you done sat there with by his side. He divorce you. Go get a Lamborghini and pick up a little 20-year-old or whatever, and now he gets live his best life. But meanwhile, you don't have no skills, and I don't think
most men do that, though. I don't think that's common for a man to.
It happens. It does happen. Listen, it might happen more in the Caucasian world, but it does happen in the African American world.
Okay. I'm trying to say that I know it happens because I've heard it's not uncommon. Let me rephrase it. I don't think that it's something that you got to look at what happened in the relationship. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I'm not here to bash men. I know there's some real bitchs out there who, I don't care how traditional they are. I'm not saying all women, don't come for me, sisters, but we can't just say, oh, this man left her. Sometimes women are very abusive and men are abusive. So I don't know. I can't really. If a man leaves you, if he leaves you and you were a good woman, then you didn't need him anyway. Check. So the part that I feel sympathy for with the woman is she should have been keeping her skills up. She should have had herself a little nest egg, because you never think that, you need something for yourself.
But here's the thing: is that
I need to get back to the video. But go ahead.
I want to go back to the video, but
go ahead. Say your last statement, though.
When it really comes down to it, marriage and stuff like that is sad, but it's not. You have to it's almost like a thing where when you get married to somebody, back in the day, because of the fact that women could not buy houses, do this. A lot of times, women are the ones that's leaving them. Actually, the majority of relationships are leaving now because the woman is tired and fed up. That's the majority right now. However, I was told growing up, listen, make sure you have an education, make sure you do this. Why? Because everybody that was my aunts and whatever, they were traditional wives. And you know what they told me growing up? Listen, don't do what I did. So why would they say that? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
feeling stuck to a certain way, to where, you know what? Don't repeat my mistake.
Did he leave him?
No, they were married to the end. You know what I'm saying? But they were married when they told me that. They were married with their husband, said, listen, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Go get an education, go learn something, because I guess they couldn't do it back then. You know, they that's the thing that men right now are missing, is because back then you couldn't get an education. You couldn't
get an education back then. I don't know where that's coming from. I have to jump in and say women got educations. Women went to school.
Could they own houses?
Yes, women could own property, but it was harder
on their own.
Yeah, it was harder, but yeah, of course.
Could they have? They could actually have a bank accounts. I thought that there was a whole time where women couldn't even have bank accounts and stuff unless the man opened up the bank account for them.
Women owned property. They were given property from their families. It just is different. I'm not saying that it wasn't harder for women to do things that men did. It's hard now, but it wasn't impossible. Women went to school. But hold that thought, because I would love to continue that conversation. I just want to get to the end of this. We're like a minute from the end. Okay. So, because people are watching and they contacted me talking about, can you go back and start the video? So let me get through this video, write it down so we can get back to this conversation about what we're talking about. Okay. I'm going to get this playing.
I'm got lying. Now you can't get rid of her. Right. You see? So they've never done nothing except at the point of a sword. They're too damn hard-headed, disrespectful, disobedient, and
you heard him say that they won't do anything unless they're at the tip of a sword. Okay, this is how he is. Wow.
Or the backhand of a hand.
That's basically what he's saying. They need violence. Let's go back.
There's a background to this. There's a background to her madness and ours alike. Disobedient and rebellious. Tell me I'm got lying. Now you can't get rid of her. Right. You see? So they've never done herself in some sexual manner. She's a sexual predator. But she want to act like all a man wanted some and as soon as you go up in one of our sisters, she oohing and on, and now you can't get rid of her. Tell me I'm got lying. Now you can't get rid of her. Right. You see? So they've never done nothing except at the point of a sword. They're too damn hard-headed, disrespectful, disobedient, and rebellious. There's a background to this. There's a background to her madness and ours alike that lends some sort of legitimate justifications as to why we do what we do. We always throwing stones, acting like, the house we live in is really a brownstone, it's a glass house. The same thing you condemning us about. Look in the mirror and see your own bestiality. It is highly reflective of your everyday conduct in society. The nation, most of these naked women who think a man, he got his head in his crotch. But meanwhile, she's the biggest sex object walking. Every time she come out her house, she's purveying herself in some sexual manner. She's a sexual predator. But
this is hatred, everybody. What he's doing is hatred. Let's keep listening.
He want to act like all a man wanted some
That is the first thing that men want. If they're heterosexual.
Why is that even unnatural for a man to want a woman?
Yeah, why is he acting? He's angry. He's got some personal things going on.
And as soon as you go up in one of our sisters, she oohing and on, and now you can't get rid of her.
Bro,
tell me I'm got
lying. Stop.
Now you can't get rid of her.
Why is he so angry about a woman oohing and on? Like, shouldn't that be like nice and good?
No, they've never done nothing except at the point of a sword.
We're going to talk about how he follows Islam and they say, beat your wife lightly.
They're too damn hard-headed, disrespectful, disobedient, and rebellious. There's a background to this. There's a background to her madness and ours alike that lends some sort of legitimate justifications as to why we do what we do. We always throwing stones, acting like, the house we live in is really a brownstone, it's a glass house. The same thing you condemning us about. Look in the mirror and see your own bestiality.
I don't know why he's saying bestiality.
Every time you go up in her, she oohing and on.
I don't want to dwell on that part.
Like, bro, no, it's not even about the actual, but to me, you hear, no, you have to think about the aggression that was put toward that. And the anger that was put toward that. Like, how could you be angry about that? That is your own That is what creates children, bro. What the hell are you talking about? No, I'm not talking about from like a weird like level. I'm like, dude, bro, you what he is supposed to be conscious.
Yeah, but it's interesting that he talks about bestiality and beyond. Of course, he's conscious, so he's going to say, I mean, cruel and savage, and but you're cruel and you're being savage. Is this how you treat the women who are a part of your? We're the counterpart to you. Why are you talking about us in such a just a depraved?
I didn't want to say it to Tabaret. That sounds like a. Like another, like
yeah, I'm not gonna go there at all because he's gonna watch this. I don't want him acting like we're bashing him. You know, these brothers, they speak so harshly, and these are the ones who are so sensitive. I'm not saying him particularly, but it's possible when you hear a brother talking like, and I get what Tabaret may be saying is this: these are the ones who have been hurt the most, and these are the ones who are so sensitive. And you have to be careful what you say. Remember, you said be careful with certain people. We have to be careful with them because they already just us critiquing this will make him livid. Probably he's going to hit the roof. But I want to point out that the thing him saying savage and cruel. You're savage and cruel. You're supposed to lead well. You talk about women can't do anything unless you have them at the point of the end of a sword. That's violence.
You know what's so scary is that imagine like you were in the house and he talking like this and look at you. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be so scared. Like, bro, the way he talking like this, did he talk to his woman like this? That's probably why. Like, bro, like how are you even do you communicate like this? Like you need to chill out.
Yeah. Read the comment that Sonetter said. Peace to everybody. I'm gonna drop the link. They all say this. They all do this stuff, though. Personally, I didn't hear anything different than he's kumbayaing with the Hebrews. Do you see what he said? You want to read it?
The Hebrews are worse. They talk to a sister live and disrespect the women in their face.
Yeah,
but I've seen that.
They're not worse though. They're the same. He just said women are sexual predators. No. He said women are. Well, I don't hear any difference though. Women are sexual predators. Women are all slutty. Women deserve to get they're the ones that need to have violence done against them. Why are they sticking around? Why can't we get rid of them after we have sex with them? Like it's the same.
And then she wants to stick around and like you. And
yeah, she want to be a part of my family.
After that, she oohing and ahhing. Now she like you too much.
You throw her the washcloth and tell her clean herself up. She's still in the bed. It's like, what are you talking about? You're supposed to be leading. This horrible. So I dropped the link. I'm sorry. I dropped the link for anybody who wants to join, but
wipe it off, ho. You know what I'm saying?
It's really pathetic.
Get out of my house afterwards.
I want to say this to him. He's not, yeah, exactly. You're not a leader because leaders don't bash their women and their congregation. You don't bash your wife. You don't bash your women. You do come with understanding, just like we've been doing for centuries. Black women, I'm gonna say decades. We've come with, but it is centuries. We've come with understanding to the Black man. We understand that he's downtrodden. We understand that he's targeted. We understand that he's public enemy number one. We understand that he doesn't get all the privileges that we get. We've come with understanding. That's why when the sister said, oh, we're not hypergamous because we be choosing Pookies and Ray Rays and X-Cons, that's because we've come with understanding and love. And we've been gentle. Now women are starting to say, I can't do this anymore. And I don't want women to do that, but
Caleb, so many mixed signals.
But why can't them? I'm saying he's not coming with any type of love and respect.
You know, I'm just like, oh,
go ahead. Yeah. So let me see what Tabaret asked. Does the guy have a mother, sister? Oh, look at that one. Look at that. Does this guy have a mother, sister, aunts, grandmothers, daughters? How would they feel? Exactly.
You're gonna teach her not to do it. He gonna teach his daughter, don't you be oohing and on and doing all that. Don't you leave that.
What he's doing though is when his daughter, like if I don't know if he has wives, I assume he has wives and sisters and children. Maybe he just has sons, but if he does have daughters, what you're telling your daughters and your sisters is if you have any type of weave. Oh yeah, he said weaves and eyelashes and they're fake. If you have any weave, if you have any cleavage, you're a subhuman and you're disgusting. You're
If I
disgraceful.
go to his Facebook, they better have like a burqa on.
Don't go to his Facebook because they don't say we're stalking. We're not stalking the brother. Don't go to his Facebook.
They
But
better be dressed in full Islamic garb.
This is my point. He called us beasts. He said we're a bestiality, cruel and savage. So if you're a woman who wears weave, eyelashes, makeup, any cleavage, any type of modern clothing that might flatter your figure, beautiful figure, then you're going to be called. When I say beautiful, I mean that bouncing and that jiggling. That we don't notice it, but it goes a long way. It drives.
Was it the same time that Kevin Samuels came around? Was that the same around about the same time?
Kevin was a little bit later.
So was he like the beginning of that? Like, I mean,
Kevin was actually not doing that back then. Believe it or not, Kevin was, are you ready? Advocating for women. Kevin was doing the yada thing. That's what people don't. I remember being on panels with Kevin and with Tasha K and Chris, what is his name? Taz and Nyla and all of them. And that was back when we had Google Hangouts, I think it was. And Kevin would be, he was talking about black women like, I need a mature woman. I need a woman who's in her 40s. Kevin was like advocating for women. It's when he got tired of being called a Auntie Kevin, like what were they calling him? Kiki or Kitten Hills?
Kitten Boots or something like that.
Yeah, the women were bashing him. And that's when he said, oh shit, okay. And Kevin, in his defense, Kevin said, I'm tired of this shit.
I thought that what happened is that he didn't get as much attention when he was telling the men how to wipe their behinds and everything. And so what happened is that he got more attention when he was cussing out the sisters. And so he just ran with that. You know, that's what I thought.
Well, it was organic, though. He didn't just say one day, I think I'm going to cuss women now. He was tired of them just berating him. Like, so there's two sides. There are black women who are toxic, just like we saw Roy Bay being toxic. There are black women who are disrespectful. When a brother is supporting for some reason, they'll come out and call him GAY or they'll say he's this and that. And brothers get tired of it. And so
I was gonna play that one thing about the Adam and Eve, but I said, I'll say that for another one. We need.
Oh yeah. No, I gotta hear that. We gotta play that at the end. We're gonna try to wrap it up soon, but we gotta play that. But listen, yes, Ebony Knowledge. He did get more views getting on the women, yes, but that's because the stage was set. Don't forget, he was still friends with my brother. O'Shea and Obsidian, O'Shea Duke Jackson and Obsidian Mumi Ali, shout out to them. They're founders of the Manosphere. And Kevin was like, you know what? Look, I started out talking about,
O'Shea turned he did a whole 360 on him. That's crazy.
And you know what it is? It's not, I don't even think it's a 360. I think he evolved. I think he grew and got wise. And he still holds everybody accountable. I did the same thing. I started out talking about submission, no questions asked. You women bow down, and the men can do everything. And the life comes from the seed, the sperm. I was talking crazy back in 2015. That's how I was cool with everybody. That was Manosphere and Ibmore and so MGTOW. But I
want to go into this before we go because I don't want to. It's getting late. But I want to talk a little bit. Yeah.
So shout out to Kevin, rest in power. All right, let's look at this here. Okay. Let me just get what Angela said, though. Thank you for being here to all the people in the audience, especially the women and the brothers as well. Roy Bay is sexist. Roy Bay is sexist and negative. And his, let me start over. Roy Bay's sexist and negative rhetoric incites violence against women. Oh, this right here. I'm going to try to post this at the end so it can be right at the top. Exactly. It does. That's all it does, Angela. That is it. He didn't do anything to help a nation. He tore down black women, and Sonetter's absolutely right. He didn't, to me, he's no different than these Hebrew Israelite men who attack women and call women whores and say we need violence. That's what he was saying. He actually said we need to be at the tip of a sword. Okay. So thank you for that comment. So, okay, sorry about that, Genesis. Let's get on to this. Now moving on to these brothers.
Is
We're
marriage
gonna
best?
wait. Let me do something real quick. Let me put this overlay. You can give us some.
So this is a conversation between Yada and No
Rise,
Fugazi.
raising consciousness divine to the truth we subscribe. Jabari Lee.
My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
This is between No Fugazi and Yada. Now, if anybody knows who Yada is, you know, he's about like, you know, I think he said at one point you need to give all your check to a woman and this, that, the other. He said a lot of stuff that's making the men like, no. And so, because he gives his wife like houses and he's like, you need to cater to your woman. And they're like, no. You know what I'm saying? So this is marriage best for men?
Hey, you didn't talk about the other side though.
Now, No Fugazi is dating a white woman. Now he's been very adamant about like not getting married. He does not want to marry the woman that he's with. She was a single mother when he met her, and then what happened is that like he was a single father, and I guess she brought them into her fold, and now they have a child together, and this, that, the other, and it just like came out that that he is a single father, or they're like he's dating a single mother. Now he will say stuff like single mothers are, what's the word, like damaged goods and this, that, the other, but he's dating a woman that's a single mother. So it's like a weird like conundrum about, well, if she's white, she's cool, but if she's black, she's damaged, you know? So people are starting to like really cut into him about like that whole way of thinking. So in this thing, you know, you have a Muslim guy, and I think No Fugazi, I'm not sure what his religion is. He might be Christian, I'm not sure. But what's going on
Where
is, like,
is it at though? I'm gonna cut you off because I can't find it. I'm trying to share it.
There's on the bottom, just like
Is it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's not it.
This is it right here. Add to stage. Wait a minute.
You had it up. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't either. I was trying to go. Let me try again. You're gonna start it, right?
No, that's I'm about to start it right now.
Okay.
So let's go. Is marriage best for men? Let's go.
Should marriage be the ultimate goal for men? Okay, guys, should marriage be the ultimate goal for men? Cooley, I want to start here with you on this one. Do we think that marriage should be the ultimate goal here for men?
Yeah. So if we're pre-modernity, the laws and regulations around marriage was different. Women weren't in the workforce as much. And, the relationship dynamic was different in the 40s and the 50s and stuff like that. So at that time, they created laws that would benefit the woman if, divorce happened, because majority of women weren't really working. Now we're in modernity now, but those laws haven't caught up to today's time. So now women are in the workforce and they're working. There are more women that graduate college than men. So not only are they working, but they have higher education and stuff like that. So I would say to that question, would you sign a contract that the other party is incentivized to break it? You know what I mean? That's a question that I would propose to anyone that's, about to get married. Totally not against marriage. I think it's a beautiful thing. But as in regards to signing that piece of paper, that's a different story. That's not, that doesn't make sense, actually. But I think, people should definitely get married and strive to be married, men and women, through the church, where, it's not these laws that incentivizes the other party to break it.
Got it.
So can I say something about that real quick? I won't be long. Yeah, he just made a point that women are, he said, well, he claims that women are incentivized. There's an incentive for women to divorce. But we all know that women are the ones always trying to drag the man to the altar. When I say always, I mean, most of the time. It's not the man trying to hurry up and get married, because I'm going to throw this out here. Men are not monogamous by nature. And whatever reason they want to say, oh, I am. You hear some men who definitely are monogamous in their relationships, but they have trained themselves and programmed themselves to be that way. So that's why men don't want to get married. It's not about money. It's not about anything but him acting like women have incentive to marry. If they're the ones trying to force a man to the altar and get him to marry, that tells you they don't want to get divorced. If he's going to be very general and basic like that.
Can I just say this? if women are the most educated, the 9 out of 10 are probably getting the most jobs that are higher paying. So what would be the incentive to a person that is getting these higher paying jobs to divorce their man? That's probably getting paid less than them, and you're not probably going to get anything and going to be like a baby mama. And then have to then now you have no support.
Yeah.
And now you're raising a child on your own. And on top of that, now you have to rely on probably family members to help you. Now you're a baby mama. So
and
why
you forgot to say, wait, Genesis. Also, you're going to have to pay him in a lot of states. You're going to have to give him half of your stuff if you divorce him. You're going to have to give him half your money, half your assets. It doesn't matter your gender. Whoever's making less is probably going to get paid in a divorce whoever's making more.
So these men that are saying this are having these unrealistic aspects of what these men are really out here doing. If more women are graduating college and getting higher pay, what would be the incentive to even get married?
Right. And Caleb says right here, their argument about the marriages and divorces that they plot to get married just to get divorced and get money. Yes. And I know you don't agree with it, but I'm saying, well, I see you don't agree with it, but he just made a statement like women are making more. Didn't he say that?
Now, first of all, he's been with this woman, I think that he's been with for I think almost 10 years, some kind of crazy amount of time. So in his mind, he's trying to validate the fact that he's not married to the person that he's with, and he's been wasting her time for X amount of years, and they have 2 kids together. He's still not married to her. So all this is really based on, all this is just some mumbo jumbo he's saying to not come on now, you should have been married this woman. She has
right. And he said he wants to do it outside the church. So clearly we could see Caleb who has the money. He has the money. Because if she had more money than him, he'd be running to the altar. That would be an incentive. That would be one reason for him to, after he has all those children with her. Peace, you'll be all right. Caleb, thank you for, let's look at Toberay. Toberay says, marriage is contractual, genuine commitment. Wait, marriage is contractual. Genuine commitment is more important, especially for the next generation of our Black children to create a family structure. And we need contracts. I need people to sometimes I hear you, Toberay, and that's very noble and that's very honorable. But unfortunately, everybody's not going to stand on honor and nobility. They're gonna be like, deuces. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with this. Here, take what you need. Take this bag of clothes that you came in with, even if you've been with that person for 10, 20 years. So contracts are important.
This is baffling to me that this is his argument, and he has a woman that has just had 2 of his children. Right. And she's also the mother to his child that's from another mother. Right. And he is the father to her child from another person.
Well, so maybe he's not going anywhere for now.
Right, but why would it?
Not to go. Go ahead.
What is the incentive? You know what I'm saying?
I would put money on it that look, let me say this. If you are a man and you love a woman and she's not giving you any headache and she's not cheating on you, you're going to keep her around. Okay. You're going to keep her, especially if she's the mother of your children. But the percentage, the odds are high that he's got another woman on the side. Okay. Very high. Very, very high.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of stuff with
Before you start it again, I want to read what Heru Apocalypse says, and then we're going to get through this a little bit more. We can't do this whole video because I don't want it to go too long. Maybe go at the most 2-hour stream at the most. I want to be closing it down. So we have another 30 minutes. But thank you to everybody who's here joining us. I know it's late. I know it's Monday tomorrow. You might have to get up early. So thanks for being here. Hit the like button. Okay, here, Hero Apocalypse says they get married just to get divorced, to extract whatever resources they can get. Because if the court laws ever change in men's favor, 80% of Western women would never get married. Well, that's not why women want to get married, though. You brothers who are saying this, the reality is, and I appreciate what you're saying, but I want to just put this out here. The reality is she's coming in with more than him. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. and say 50% of the time, 60% of the time, I'll say that. She's coming in with, she has more than him or a little bit more, maybe equal. Nobody's trying to get rich off of marriage. Most of these women are not marrying. This isn't Basketball Wives. Okay. You heard what Genesis said. They're marrying, they're not hypergamous, right? They are naturally hypergamous. They're looking at the guys that are strong and good looking, tall. That's another part of hypergamy too, like trying to make sure you get the best looking offspring. But
imagine this, you build a guy up and then now he's gonna talk about like, well, imagine I don't want to like get married because when I built this whole thing up, even though she probably helped them build it up. Well, guess what? She could be able to take everything.
No, that's 100% right.
Build everything. I helped you make everything. So why? So you're only not getting married to me because you know that I helped you to like even get to this point, and so therefore you're trying to protect your assets, but meanwhile you're wasting my time.
And they know this. That's
and that women have a clock. You know, women are like, you know. So you're wasting all my youth to be with you, and you could at any point just like drop me off and say, you know what, I don't want to be with you no more. And guess what? I can't make that time back up. I'm older now. Then what? So you men are thinking about the financial aspect. The women are
they're not even thinking about the financial. They're thinking about, like you said, now you're going to get me into my feelings. I've seen men, and this isn't me, but I'm like what Genesis saying. I'm going to back her up. I have seen men have women build them up, do everything for them, literally pull them off the freaking bus when they come straight out of jail, build them up, give them jobs, clean them up. And then the dude goes and acts like, you didn't do this for me. I did this for myself. They didn't even break up, really. Like, I've seen that. Like, that's wrong. So think about if he leaves her, if they divorce, you know, like if he divorces her and then she's sitting there and she cleaned them all up for the next woman, how's she going to feel? Like she gets no money from that? She gets nothing?
Right. So that's kind of like a selfish thing that he's doing, because when he met her, he was working like at like a stocking, like at like logistic, like, you know what I'm saying? Warehouse job. She met him from the warehouse. Now he's no fugazi. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure she invested in that. You can't tell me she didn't.
Yeah, let me read this. Excuse me. Look, why are 3/4 Black women not married today? Exactly, because we have Black men sitting up here listening to this guy. That's why, my friend. Thank you for being here. Because, and you can hit the link if you want to come in and make a comment. But it's because
they kill me with the choose better men. I mean, if we had to choose better men, you wouldn't be chosen. I mean, why is it wrong? No, don't choose better men. You know what I'm saying? Well,
yeah, wait, he said, how low of a bar do you have to make a point? So you're trying to tell me that a portion of the Black community is an ex-convicts, Black men? You trying to
the warehouse?
Wait, don't go there. There's a significant amount. There's a significant amount of Black males who are ex-convicts. And they're of marriageable age. They're younger men, like 30s and 20s, 30s, 40s. So yeah, who are the better men? You mean the other race?
Honey,
I'm not calling them better, by the way. I'm not calling them better.
120 a year dating a warehouse worker. So I don't want to marry you because, you know, when we break up, you're gonna have to take all half of my no, you're gonna try.
Why is he working at a warehouse though? Is it because he wants to, or because that's the only place that hires ex-cons? Like, this isn't a diss, but what you want to be realistic. Roy Bay was going in about weaves and eyelashes and booties and coochie shorts. Let's be realistic. There's a significant amount of Black men, and I don't have a problem with them. They're my family. They're good people. They're good men. But there's a significant amount of Black men who are ex-cons. They have a history of incarceration. It's a problem, but I'm not dissing. You said jailbirds. We didn't say jailbirds. So, brother, you can hit the link if you want. So,
and you know how many Black men like be robbing and stuff when they're young? You know how many Black men I know? Hold on.
I don't know about that. That's you saying that.
I know this. there's a lot of black men that when they are younger will dibble and dabble into robbery and drug dealing and
Well, that's
all
because
types
of their
of stuff.
poverty, though. I'm not taking this to.
Is it
well, there-
poverty? Because
wait. Hold on, Genesis. There's a lot of black women out there shoplifting. So I'm not trying to go into this specific crime. I'm saying the statistics show that we're talking about black men, right? So I
I'm
want
saying
them to say-
statistically in my life, I met a lot of like people that had that little robbery thing on them.
Yeah,
A
they're
lot.
the because economy. So economically, drug dealing, and I'm not saying all black men. You think that aren't there? Aren't my brother's a doctor, my nephew's a doctor. And we're not some special Cosby family. I'm saying I know there are good black men who are businessmen. We're all here coming together. We're pulling together in this community. But let's not pretend that women are not giving brothers a second chance when they hear I'm working at a warehouse. If I hear somebody say they're working at a warehouse, if they're not owning that warehouse, I know that they're an ex-con. I don't know about you, Genesis. Nobody wants to work at a warehouse.
No, they don't necessarily have to be ex-con because they're not always ex-con.
I'm not talking about kids. I'm not talking about 1920. I'm talking about 30, 40-year-old men working in warehouses. I'm going to say in my mind, he probably is having a hard time.
I have met people that were very thin, but it's a certain level of, I'm not saying like some people, some men are just physical. They don't want a job where they're sitting on their behind. They want to like be able to work and pick things up and do stuff. So either they're gonna like, maybe they didn't have a father say go and learn a trade, right? So a warehouse job is like probably the closest. I believe that when we get these mother households, like, right, you have certain men that's really physical. They don't want to just sit around. They want to like do stuff, pick things up, do stuff. They didn't learn how to like fix cars or be a plumber or whatever. No,
they didn't have anybody to show them. Wait, hold on. They didn't have black men. They didn't have black men to come in and say, I don't see a dad around. I'm going to step up and be the father figure, because we've got black men telling these black men to run and don't be with women who are single moms. So let me say this too. I need to make this clear. I know that being an ex-convict doesn't make you a bad person. Actually, most brothers who are ex-convicts and who want to make their lives better, who go get real jobs like warehouse jobs, they are good people. It's the ones who get out and they have such this they go straight back to the crime. There's a lot of recidivism. I'm not talking about black men in a negative way, but we're being realistic, y'all. Because in the next conversation, the next conversation we have, we'll talk about the pipeline from preschool to prison, and then brothers will say, yeah, there's a lot of that. So let's not act like we don't have a high percentage of our brothers, our men who have had criminal histories. That's what I'm just trying to say here.
I'm gonna say this too. Is okay. So Harrow says Western women in general are responsible for 80% of relationship breakups and marital divorce, and it goes to 90% if they're so-called college educated. All right, so let's go to Western. Okay, we're talking about Western, right? So let's go to Iraq. Okay, how many of those?
What is he saying? I want to see. Hit the link. Why don't you hit the?
How many women
We're gonna close down
that are in Iraq or Iran or whatever?
80% of the relationship breakups. Wait, hold on. Where you get this from?
That's like kind of a semi.
I want to see where this came from. I need a source.
I mean, there is a source that says.
How are they respond? No, the word. I'm stuck on the word
80%.
responsible. Hold on, I'm stuck on the word responsible. Okay, so initiating a breakup isn't the same as being responsible for one.
But I would say that. Hold on, I will say this. He talking about Western women though, but then on the other end, you have people that are not Western, right? They're in Iran and Iraq, and guess what? They're not allowed to own nothing, do nothing. Those are very male-dominated societies where the woman is subdued. Now, if you were to take those women out of those houses where they can't, and gave them an education and took those burqas off their head and said, listen, you're free to do, they'd probably be divorcing niggas too. Come on now. Why are we on with The reason
Don't say
why-
the N word. You know we
Sorry.
got to keep this
they would
up.
probably be divorcing these men too. First of all, on top of even China, all those places. Do you know that
We lost you.
you can't hear me?
You said, do you know that in
No, in Japan, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
In Japan right now, we're thinking about only America has this problem. In Japan right now, there is so much of a low birth rate. They're like actually paying people to go over to Japan and have kids because the women do not want to have kids with the men. Because
you mean in Korea? That's Korea.
No, that was in Japan. They have a whole thing called
The men they complain about the men in Korea and Japan, in South Korea and Japan.
Well, in Japan, they have actual clubs where men the women only use the men for pleasure. They don't want to have children. They just want to be, and there's like a whole low birth rate thing. So people over here are complaining about what's going on over. Oh, y'all Western women, but honey, go to Japan and tell me what happened. Now they might, you know what I'm saying? Tell me about what's going on.
Yeah, thank you, Tobere. That sounds more accurate. Responsible and initiate are not the same. Google says 70% of women initiated divorce. That sounds accurate. I mean, even though you didn't give the source, you said Google, you Googled it. Responsible for if I find out that you are you like to do stuff that I'm not down with, like you're really a bad person, and I go and look at your internet searches and I'm shocked, and I go file for divorce, you're responsible for that. I initiated it. I just went extreme. If I find out that you don't mind eating ramen all day and playing video games and using my credit card to order DoorDash with your friends, and you stay up all night long and you don't want to get a job, and I'm working as these Black women, and then you won't even take care of the children correctly, you're responsible for this divorce I initiate. Okay. So I find I'm hard pressed to see, just because of the way the nature of women and the nature of men. Let me take this down so we can see that. The nature of women and the nature of men. I'm hard pressed to think that a woman is responsible for 80%. No, you can't get that, because men are.
So if you say 75% in America, 55% of divorces in Japan are initiated by women.
Yeah, because you know why? Men are not.
Us over here in the Western world are just so just out of control, but it's not just over here. That's the problem.
Well, they're considered Western. They're industrialized. That's when we say Western. I get it's Asia, but that word Western is we use it wrong. Let's say industrialized world.
Right. No. Okay. But I think that when they're saying Western, it's about American.
Yeah.
They're not like saying Japan and other Asian countries, because I think they're thinking about over here in America. You know what I'm saying? So,
but they're wrong.
Guess what? They're doing the same thing over there too. So if y'all think y'all fixing to go over there and they gonna stay with you, they gonna divorce you too.
Oh yeah, no. This is where they make the mistake, and I'm not just talking about him specifically, but a lot of people, they think it's only America. It's any industrialized world that has connection with technology. The women are all doing.
Anytime the women have education, they end up divorcing.
And the thing is this, because
the freedom to divorce.
Well, she has she has the freedom, the ability to initiate divorce. Guess what though? The divorces that are initiated, I bet you if you look into it, most of them are because of infidelity. And then the second would be irreconcilable differences. Infidelity probably is number one, because men are hypergamous and they won't admit it, and then they want to play in your face, and they think they're going to play even when they do admit it. Men are doing polygyny, this polygynous marriages, they're doing them all wrong. Like they think I can just go have sex with anybody I want. No, you can't. You can't do that and think your wife is going to stick around, especially if she's not stuck in the marriage. If it's like what Genesis said, if you have children, if she's past her, her prime, then she's more likely to stay and tolerate you. But if she's still of a reproductive age, she's gonna say, "I'm not staying around for this. I'm leaving." So I'm sure that they are initiating divorces because
women initiate about 69% of divorces worldwide. So all this Western stuff, okay, and Iraq has a very high divorce rate. So all this stuff, what people are doing is they are finding what these call like statistics, just to try to make it seem like that we over here are out of control, when over there they are getting divorced just like anybody else. People in Iraq and over there are not just over there just putting up with it.
That's extreme Iraq. We're talking about crazy ass Sharia law. But let's talk about this though. Thank you for sharing these statistics. Let's talk about this. There are men who are mistreated, and I feel for you. See, this community, let me say this, and I'm not pandering. We have people who are intelligent. They're trying to better self. They're looking into different things. They're above average. So there are men in here who have been seeing, certain men. I'm not saying all y'all. Some of y'all might be just terrible, but there are some men who've seen things where they've been treated poorly by women who don't align with them and their goals. And they tend to start doing some self-searching and self-seeking, get it, consciousness. So that's a community we're talking to. You got to remember, we're talking to about the whole world. And in that, I will say there are definitely men who are mistreated. There are men who are used. There are men who are good to women and women treat them poorly. But that is not a high percentage. Comparing that to men cheating or not stepping up and being the husbands and fathers, the percentage is higher, especially the cheating part. Most women initiate divorce because they found out a man is cheating on them. Okay? That's most women, not these crazy women on the internet talking about, I'll divorce my husband because he lost his job. That's silliness. So that's all I want to say with that. What does it say about why they read that?
Unmet emotional needs, poor communication, lack of independence. Okay.
Can we get some real stats though? Like stay away from this AI.
Everything for divorce. No, this is.
Can we go to like Pew review, like the Pew research? Like I'm not into the AI thing because they don't be knowing what the hell they're talking about sometimes. I mean, I want to see real stats if we're gonna get them.
Honey, we ain't got time to find that. I'll find that. Okay.
Okay. Well, what do you got there?
70%, 62% of women divorced in England and Wales in 2019. Like, I mean, bottom line is economic independence is an imperative before women can attempt to leave a marriage, either alone or with children to support. Extremely difficult for women to leave a marriage unless the only reason why a lot of women are staying in marriages is because they don't have economic independence. But if they even, some people just say, some women just be like, I don't even care anymore. Depending on its bottom line is still increased. Economic independence alone does not explain why women have become so much more likely to initiate divorce than their husbands. Yet the percentage of women initiating divorce has continued to rise, and the reasons are manifold. For many women, the expectations they have when they enter a marriage may fail to match up to reality. So maybe we're like putting the wrong thoughts in the women's head about what marriage is. I don't know. Maybe people aren't seeing what the red flags are. You know what I'm saying? But bottom line, it's at like 75%, y'all. Go ahead on. This is on BBC. I don't want, I don't have the actual statistics because I wasn't prepared, but I wanted to show that, it's not necessarily a matter of we're just the Western world is just over here divorcing heavily like that. It's not just the Western. It's all over the world. It's the world right now. I don't want people to think America is the only ones doing that. So
can we admit that we're leading it though? Come on, like it's not just they're following.
Well, America's very huge, so we can't be like we're leading it when you have. Well, I mean, if you compare, you know what I'm saying, based on per capita, I mean, we have to like do that research first before we actually make that assumption. You know what I'm saying?
I was looking at this, not to interrupt you, but I'm looking at the Pew Research. If you want to get stats, this is always a good, let me just get it up here real quick. This is always a great place to go. Okay, and this is for everybody, not just Genesis. Pew Research Center. So I was looking at some stuff, and this is, this says here that's interesting. Look at this. It says, view of divorce and open marriages. Younger adults are more likely than older adults to say unhappy couples stay married too long. So women are more likely than men to say that couples stay in bad marriages too long. See, these are the women. Women are like, I'm out of here. So let me see, race and ethnicity. About 6 in 10 Black women, 6 out of 10 Black women and Hispanic adults say unhappy couples stay in bad marriages for too long, while 54% of white adults and 53% of Asian adults say the same. So this is what we're talking about. Black and Hispanic women will leave a marriage before white and Asian women, no matter if the going, you know, for better or for worse. I mean, I'm on team V. I'm on the V team, but I got to be real. These women are like you said, Genesis. They're like, I know I can leave. I know I can do it. So they're just getting up. They're not really. I'm not even trying to hold them on that. As trying to use the vernacular, trying to be. I'm not going to say it's wrong because maybe there's a reason, because I don't see Kim Jong-un talking about I was about to say something horrible. Kim Jong-un isn't like he's a computer programmer. He ain't trying to blow you, unalive you because you put his garbage bag full.
You don't hear the Asian men talking about how they're getting divorced so much.
I'm sorry, brothers.
You know but they are getting divorced so much. You know what I'm saying?
They are getting divorced. It's high. It's high all around. It's from 60 to 50. So let's get back to.
We're not going to like make it seem like us Black women are just like these pariahs that are just divorcing.
Oh no, I don't even think that's the thing. I think it's not just let me say this. It's not just Black women. It's both sides. Like, come on, you have to. I forgot to say this to Roy Bay. You're the one leading Black women. Like, how are you going to get mad at your kids who are doing bad shit? Excuse my language. Oops. Okay. Light cursing. How are you going to get mad at your kids who are doing something bad when you're supposed to be the one responsible or leading them? How are you going to be a man and complain about your women? You're going to have to do something else. And if you want to be the leader, you want us to look at you as the king. You're going to have to take responsibility and do with it. Hey, look, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I'm not for all that those beekeeper outfits, but the Nation of Islam, those women are doing. I'm talking about the fruits of Islam, the NOI, with Farrakhan. I've seen them, the way the women are. They're all beautiful. They're all in.
You don't know what the divorce rate in that whole.
I don't know, but I know what I saw. I'm just saying my personal experience.
It look cool and everything, but
but the brother saying I don't see my point that I'm making is they don't talk about women like that. They both believe in Islam. They both believe in women dressing in that kind of way, but I never ever have seen them talk about the women like that. And guess what? The women follow willingly. Now with the Hebrews, there are groups of men who stand outside and curse women out. They don't have a lot of women in their congregation. They don't. And if they do, there's some things going on that, I'm not saying that they're all perfect. Please, sisters, don't think that I'm pumping up any type of misogyny. Yes, there's abuse. Yes, there's indoctrination. Yes, there's cults. But I'm making a point about if you want to be a leader, you're going to have to lead well, and you can't curse your woman out and call her a sexual predator for wearing coochie cutter shorts in public or even to her face. That's all I'm saying. So we only have about 6 more minutes, but you go ahead, you go in. You don't have to agree, but I want you to go in and can you share that little clip?
Yeah,
we got to get to that. I want to get to that Adam and Eve thing. Wow.
Yeah, we didn't really get into that other.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you go in for a second. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water. My mouth is dry.
I'm gonna play a little bit more of this because you didn't put the video up, honey. I'm playing it. Can y'all hear it? I'm trying to play it. Can y'all hear it? They can't hear it because you left and didn't put the video up.
Oh, what happened? Oh, my
You
bad.
didn't put the video
I thought
up.
you put it up. My bad. My bad.
Okay, let me go back a little bit. Hold on.
And thanks to everybody for hanging out with us. This is late on a weekday, so
A lot of you men are hurt. Like a lot of you men are hurt. I was in a relationship with a woman, and when I started to exit from this woman told everybody I beat on her. Right? I was facing 44 years in prison. The internet ran with it. They ran with it. They didn't need no documents. All they need is she filed for these things, and that was the proof for them. 44 years. They told me to plead to 15 years for something I did not do because a woman said I did something.
okay. He going into some other stuff.
My neck. I'm like, it's over with. It's over with. Everything I'm cursing God. God, you ain't nothing. You're not real. You don't exist. Because why would you do this to me? Everything I've been through, this is how I'm going out. And I'm not afraid to be incarcerated. I'm a man wherever you place me. Wherever you place me, I'm standing how I stand, period. And those that know. But this is how I go out. 44 years, plea to 15. I turn into a complete alcoholic. My wife comes in. My wife, the beautiful one you see me posting all the time. She see me at my lowest. My lowest. Says this to my neck. She comes in, what are you doing? I push her. She runs to the neighbors for help to help me. Somebody help this man.
Wait, back up. Stop. Wait. Hold on.
It says he beat her.
Wait, can you pause it? Did he say that he pushed her? Is this a new wife?
No, it's the wife he's with right now. I think he was trying to hurt himself, and then she was trying to stop him, and he pushed her away.
Okay, wait, hold on. So he said she's the one who accused him of doing something, and he almost got 44 years?
Yes.
So they worked it out?
Yes.
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
Documents, there's no police records, there's nothing. So I have every reason to dislike women, especially women that look like me, because these were black women. Black women. Mentally falling apart. I'm talking about you following me for how long, brother?
About 5 years now.
Did you see all that stuff that's going online? Y'all is a woman beater. Y'all is a woman beater. Y'all is a woman beater. Why? I was facing 44 years, plead down to 15. But look at Yada. Look at Yada. Where's the guilty at? No one cared. So Red Pill, I can understand why y'all frustrated. I've been there. I've been attacked by a woman that said she loved me, told me if she couldn't have me, she'd rather me be dead. I understand. But when I sit across from men like him with no substance, and it comes to relationships and marriage, he comes from a place of fear. We have to understand when it comes to marriage, it's deeper than a piece of paper. We're talking about being ordained by God. And a lot of men suffer from divorce because no one has properly told them how to choose a woman. If a man knows how to choose a woman, he does not have to worry about divorce.
Genesis, pause it for me. That goes for the same with women in our people. We can bring in, when we could do a part 2. We could talk about epigenetic post-traumatic slave syndrome. That is a part of us, not just from slavery, but from after slavery, how we view our men, how our men view us. It's both sides equally. We don't know how to choose correctly. You heard Genesis say the Pookie. There's a side of us that we want to be there as women. We want to get that guy. They make it sound derogatory in the pink pill sector. They say build a bear. Remember Build a Bear? They say build a Nigga. But the reality is that we do need to have compassion for each other. There are brothers who are coming from the bottom, whether they came out of jail or they didn't get a good break, they didn't get a fair chance, they didn't have a man to tell them how to go work and be responsible for self. And they're good men, and they're women coming in, they can relate to the pain, and then they link up with these guys. But then they didn't. People say, well, why'd you choose him? Let's even talk about that. Like, hey, why can't you choose a guy who's not?
They love to say choose better. They love to say choose.
No,
better.
yeah, but that's not fair to about men than for black men. Because what about the men who are good men who are ex-cons? What about the men who aren't even ex-cons? Nobody showed them how to do anything. Nobody showed them how to do anything besides look good, stand in the mirror, play video games, trying to get your hustle on, dream of being a basketball star, but you'll never do it. You don't get up and work out. You don't do anything. You just dream. What about those brothers? Those are the ones that a lot of black women, whether you want to hear it or not, we have huge hearts, and they're choosing these guys, and they're trying to, I could fix him. I could do it. I know he's a good man. I know and then after a while she said, you know what, to hell with this stuff. I got children by him. He's not, I got to move on. So I'm just saying it's both sides. Like, he gets it, this Yada guy. Both of them were not on the right 100% for themselves, right? So I just wanted to say, I think it's both sides. It's not just black men don't choose well, black women don't choose well, but it's not about a certain person that you can look at and say, oh, he's an engineer. Oh, he doesn't have a criminal record. Oh, this is gonna be
crazy as all get out.
Yes, he could be crazy. So it's not even about looking at them and saying, he's not an ex-con. Now, with that said, ladies, don't go looking for an ex-con. Please don't. But if you meet a guy and he's great, and then you're shocked, like, my husband's an ex-con, but you gotta know how to pick somebody who will respect themselves first, who does things for himself first. A man is supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to be the creator and the leader of things. And you come in and you bring things and build with him. But don't come in just like, oh, let me help you. Let me help you get on my back. I'm going to save you first before I save the children. I got to go over that with you, Genesis, by the way. The video that I was doing with the girl, that the woman said she saved her husband over her children first.
That's crazy, right? What the heck?
Anyway, go ahead and you can make your commentary if you want, but I just wanted to comment on what he said.
I didn't get to hear I wanted to hear the end of what he's going to say, and I was going to comment.
Pull it back.
Okay, let's go with the rest of it. What was the end of this thing?
It's me, when that woman was giving me 44 years to say, I beat her, I chose that woman. They can go online right now and will not see no response about anything she said. There's no video ever of me speaking bad about this woman, because I take full responsibility for what goes on in my life. That's what men do. So when you step into marriage and you have to doubt the woman that you're with, you've already lost. You've already lost. I believe every man that's following the will of the Most High God. Because if I'm not mistaken, God says when you find a wife, you find a good thing. Am I mistaken?
No.
When you find a wife, not shack up with a woman, not have a babies by a woman and not claim her, but when you find a wife, you find a good thing. That's why you have to stop following men like this. He's a shack up man. Shaq slept with women. And I know for a fact he was raised in a single parent household. He's never seen his mother properly loved. This isn't a man. This is a devil in physical form. Brother, what's your name? What's your name, brother?
I mean, let's pause it there. Let's stop it there.
That's it. So bottom line is that I just wanted to see where it ended up at, but
damn, he heard him. He took some shots.
Wow. Okay.
The brother sounded like he was listening to him.
Yeah. And
see, that's what we got to be careful. Like, it sounded like he was making sense to him, but then he went and started calling him the devil. We start getting sensitive.
Well, you know, it's a debate, so you know how it is.
I know, but come on, he has to be the devil in physical form.
Well, you know, if you're talking about marriage in such a way to where you're making it seem like only a piece of paper, and then you're with a woman and you have children by that woman, and you will not get married to her. Because listen, what happens when something happens to this guy, right? Let me tell you something about what happens, okay? What's going to happen is that your stuff will go into probate court. Whoever you had a child by, it goes to the kids, and now you're leaving it up to the two baby mamas to fight it out in probate. So because of the fact you did not, if this woman have all like two kids by you, took care of your daughter, you took care of the son, y'all was in this union for like 13 years and you never marry her, and then you pass on, guess what happens? All that time that you spent, now she's like left to fight it out with the baby mama. So so to me, like at the end of the day, people are not thinking about what happens if people think they're going to live forever. You know what I'm saying? And bottom line is that you have to give marriage is not only just for when you're alive, but also when you pass on. Because that wife can actually like be able to take the money that whatever you have, and then be able to disperse it amongst your children or keep it or do whatever. But when you have multiple baby mamas and this, that, the other, now they're all bucking it out in court. Yeah, let me get Social Security. Let me get like SSDI and all this other crazy stuff. People do not understand like the actual implication. And I've been through this before. That's the reason why I know. Mm-hmm. My child's father was in a rap group, and he was making a lot. He made a lot of money, but I had to like go through all this stuff and the probate and all this other stuff, and you know.
You didn't have a will?
No.
Damn.
People don't have wills.
That's too bad. Yeah, you got to have that will, because if you're going to go to court, that stuff helps. You get what
marriage. I'm going to close it out by this. Marriage.
Well, no, we're going to do the last bit. That last little bit we got to do.
Okay.
Can you put it up?
Marriage is not only just about when you're alive. Marriage is a business. It's a business, right? And if you already been living with a person for a long amount of time, and you guys have all your like assets together, and you're doing stuff, you're already in a marriage. Why not solidify that with a contract? But he's saying he don't want to do the contract because he's more afraid of when he leaves. Why are you thinking about things about when it ends? That tells me that you're not confident in your relationship. So why are you even wasting her time? So nevertheless, let me go back into this. Let me just say this.
Put the Adam and Eve one up, please. Right. Okay, so this is the last one we're going to go over, and we're going to try to go fast. Thank you for staying over 2 hours, Genesis, and of course the audience. You're great. I love the input. I'm not. This isn't just flattery. We have some great input. I love that we have some opposing views. We're respectful to each other. Again, if Roy Bay is listening to this and he's at the end of this, or he didn't just turn it off and say, "I'm gonna get them." No, just kidding. He wouldn't say that. He's not a bad, but he's pretty decent guy. Actually, I've talked to him a couple times with Sonetter, but when he was going in, there was some inner stuff going on, some shit that we hadn't. Excuse me. My grandmother said that's her password to heaven, but I got to stop saying it. There was some inner stuff going on that we had nothing to do with. This is some stuff that he's experiencing. 99.9% of the time when you see these men with these platforms and saying this stuff, it's because something they experienced. So, yeah, with that said, thank you for being here. I know we're going long, but I'm going to put up this other one. This is something else we need to listen to. Let's do it. Anton Daniels, then Yada.
God came to him and said, "Why are you hiding?" He said, "I'm naked." He said, "Who told you naked?" He said, "The woman that you gave me the fruit and I ate." He took no responsibility over that woman. This is the sin of Adam, not the sin of Eve. But you men believe that.
You got to get a concordance to understand what words mean. You need to understand exactly what God instructed Adam to do, because he wasn't disobedient. He was punished for the thing that you tell women to do and you tell men to do. People sent me a video of you saying a man should give 100% of his check to his wife. God punished Adam because he hearkened to the voice of his woman and he wasn't the leader that you saying that men should do.
God came.
Okay, first off, if I can just say this, put that in the chat. You don't have to shout it out. Just put it in the chat for him. Can you see? You saw what Toba Ray asked, how he can get the whole video.
Just go to Hardly Initiated, and
I just asked you to put it in the chat.
Oh,
Sonetter is good. Never mind.
I mean,
Go ahead.
It's even worse. Like, I don't know, but
Yeah, no, it's fine. Go ahead. Just whatever. Go ahead. Say it. It's good. You can say it. Finish.
Hardly Initiated. Just go on Hardly Initiated, and they have both of those videos. So
Genesis is like, what the hell? What kind of rules is over? What y'all doing over here? Listen, I gotta follow. Listen, I followed the king. Sonetter has proven himself to be a good leader when it comes to the what he's supposed to be leading. So don't think, y'all know I challenge him on the panels. I'll be beating him up in the Bible, but I try to do, if he's listening, I try to keep the video up, right, Genesis? That's the goal. Right. Keep the video up, keep the chat up, because I love the chat. I love their commentary. So listen, I told you to stop it, or I think that was the end of it. Yeah, I don't like how Anton Daniels seems to be unrealistic. Like, that's the same thing with Roy Bay saying, oh, women with weaves and women are where they don't wear beekeeper outfits. I think a lot of these people who follow these Abrahamic religions, yes, I'm saying it, brothers, don't get mad. A lot of you lose touch with reality. And when I say lose touch with reality, not that you're in la la land or foolish, but that you don't stop and look at your own life and go, oh, wait, I'm actually doing what I'm preaching against.
Can you take this welcome to the big lead off of there?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the screen. My bad. but you get what I'm saying? Like, I think that they don't look at their own lives and say, am I being contradictory to what I'm teaching? What do you think?
I think they all are contradictory. And really, if they really found their boo thing, they would not be talking all that. They'd just be too loved and hugged up to be even able to do all that. I think they're just not with the person that they real person. When people find a real person, they're not online doing all that nonsense.
But isn't Anton married?
Yeah.
Okay, you're funny as heck with the way you said that. Let's close out. Thank you so much for being here. We might need to do a part 2 and maybe talk a little bit more about.
They married, but I'm like, I mean, you've been with a person since like high school. He probably outgrew her because there's no reason why he's. Well, I think he has unrealistic understanding of like what reality is.
Right.
He's been the same girl for like who knows long. Why are you talking about what's going on in the single world? Shut up and just be married.
Oh, right. There you go. See, so we agree. They're not really.
If you really was in love with your wife, you wouldn't have time to be online bitching and moaning. You know what I'm saying?
About women too. That's weird. If you're so happy about women, it would be a reflection. Most of the time you see these men complaining it's because they're not getting along with women.
Unhappiness. So you're taking it out on everybody else because your marriage is unhappy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're about to leave. You're super late, but listen to the playback and listen to Roy Bay talk about women wearing coochie cutter shorts and cleavage are sexual predators. That's what I'm saying. And then listen to the part where he says women have to be at the end of a sword to do what you tell them to do. What? Then listen to him say, and once you run up in them, you can't get rid of them. He has to answer. He's going to have real quick, Genesis. I'm going to pass over. These are the points that I want you to answer. Why you said such terrible things like that? Would you like to retract those statements? Would you like to be more loving and more compassionate and protective of your women instead of basically spewing all that hate. Go ahead, Genesis. Thank you. Go
I
ahead.
will say this. The one thing I'm noticing is all these men that are talking about stuff like this are either married in a long-term relationship. And I'm thinking to myself, what is up with these women? Why wouldn't they be like, don't be saying that? Like, why are you getting online? Like, I don't understand. Like, so they're just letting them just say whatever.
They're scared.
Background, like, okay, well, I'm just saying. And
They don't feel valued. This is my, I don't know about these men. I'm not talking about your wife, Roy Bay. I'm not talking about your wife, Anton Daniels, but in general, Fugazi, whatever. In general, if you're doing that, you're not happy with women, and the women must be afraid to say something to you, or they know it doesn't matter because you don't give a dang.
Or maybe they're just so like, okay, as long as I got like my bills paid, I don't give a, like, that's even worse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just going along with the get along because whatever, and y'all just like,
and they have their boo thing on the side.
Y'all just existing, y'all. So that's the reason y'all have unhappiness, because there's no way that a happy person in their relationship would be spewing out so much unhappiness onto the world, right? They would be shouting to the rooftops, get into a marriage, love your wife. Man, I love my wife. You know, you ever been to church and well, that might be fake, but sometimes the pastor be like, man, my wife over here. And they probably
I've seen that. They dance.
They probably did just got finished getting it in, but who knows why? You know what I'm saying? But bottom line is that you feel like the love between, there's a reason like why that the man will do that to raise up his wife. Why is it that these men that are on these platforms are not raising up their wives? Why are they like, it's almost like you don't even realize that you're putting your wife down by even saying the things that you're saying. You're making it's you think that you're raising her up, but you're really putting her down along with everybody else. So yeah, that's all I got.
Exactly. You're putting her down. So do better. You want somebody to follow you, and then you're gonna sit there and put women down. We're not dumb. I want to follow good leaders. I'm all for male leadership, but you're not gonna lead me over a cliff talking about who wants to either drink the Kool-Aid or go jump over the cliff. Like, no.
Imagine how she feels listening to that every day.
I could never. And that's what I talk about. I say that with Sonetter. We sit and say, when I see certain men trolling me online, and this is a different topic kind of, but it's still in the same vein. And Mr. Hobbs, let me see, I forgot his name. What's your name, brother? Your name is Marlon Hobson, Mr. Hobson, and Caleb, and other people know what I'm talking about. Sonetter and I say, what kind of woman sits beside her husband and he obsesses over another woman every single time he goes live? He cannot help but speak on that woman. Like, I would never. I'll be like, what the hell? What's wrong with you? I don't care if he's saying something bad about her. Like, why would you be as a woman sit and if you hear your husband speaking on women, you better perk your antenna up, girl. And you know what I'm saying? You better be like, he may be acting like he doesn't.
Only a matter of time before he turned that aggression onto you.
Or like, why are you bringing this up all the time? There's a reason. This is in your soul. This woman that you keep talking about is in your soul. With that said, peace, everybody. Let's play this music. You want to say something?
That was it.
I hate when Sonetter does that to me. I'll be
like, wait, hold on. Please check out Alchemizing Energy. I lost like all these subscribers on YouTube.
Girl, stop. You did not lose subscribers. I want you to stop that. Stop it. Are you talking about when you look at your panel, the main thing, and it says
my subscriber count is like,
it says negative and it's in red?
No, that's like,
that's not from that's from you know why? Gotta get back on it. Get that grind up.
Right. So yeah.
You guys heard that though. Get her subscriber count back up. I should care about my channel more.
Come go to at DJ. Please subscribe to my channel, and much love. Peace out to the house.
Please subscribe to her channel, and please subscribe to mine. But I already know the darkest minds and the light in here subscribed. But if you're watching this over on Genesis Facebook and you don't know my channel, please subscribe. And if you don't want to subscribe to it, just keep on tuning in and just
or like the video. At least like
being one of them Pookie. Don't be a Pookie or a Ray Ray. I don't like saying Pookie or Ray Ray. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
don't be a freeloader. You know, some people will just watch and they say, I'm not subscribing, but they hate watch. How toxic is that?
Man, just listen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, support our channels.
Yes. And I hope you enjoyed the conversation. By the way, next time, I know it's late, but next time I want some men and some ladies to hit the panel and come in and let us know. What do you think? Peace to the... Oh, and I put this on the Coliseum because if there's any men out there who want to debate this, you know we're ready. Either Genesis or me. Or we could do a team debate, get a couple more women on our side, and we can duke it out. And that goes for you, Brother Roy Bay. Come on in and
thanks, Lone Wolf and Lion Club. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking at it. Speak your speech. Speaking of speak your speech,
that just got some good music. Yes, I do. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And speak your speech is from Umar Johnson. We can ready to go in and find out what's really going on, okay? Because not because I want to hear about somebody's personal life, but if you're going to say step up for the children, if you're going to say men are not present in their children's lives, I need some answers, Dr. Umar. I need some answers. I need to know.
Well,
I want to hear from
you. We're gonna have a meeting with them on Thursday. We're gonna hear what they say. I don't.
Who's having a meeting? You?
No, him and his baby mama and the baby.
Okay, well, we'll see. I'm ready to hear.
The princess of Pan-Africanism. You gotta say it like 15 times.
But you know that he calls her that?
Yeah.
When did he call her that?
Like I saw it today.
So now he's calling her, because before he was calling her baby Smurf.
Oh, he calls her that too, and also the princess of Pan-Africanism. Yeah.
Well, that's good that he's embracing his daughter, but guess what? I mean, not guess what. What do you think? Doesn't she act just like him?
Hey, they're twins.
Oh my God! I was like, this woman is either. He didn't deny her, so I'm not trying to condemn the brother.
Nose and everything.
I just want answers. I want answers, Dr. Umar. We need answers. And with that said, peace to the darkest minds of the light, peace to the HOK family, and peace to the alchemizing energy family. Good night. Okay, I'm gonna pick a song.
Hey yo, Starnetta, you did it again, brother. Yo,
now this is a Cam Up song, but I love Afu Nation. I would say Queen Afua. I love Afu Nation. Shout out to her, Lady Kiara, and her lovely, lovely family, her wonderful, talented husband. This is a little smooth, you know what I'm saying, Genesis? We need more music, but this is a smooth one by Afu Nation.
Afu Ma can rule, true voice. Big up to the panel. And I am Lady Kiara, and we are Afu Nation. The best channel for Black America today. For the youth, for all ages, 8 to 80. It's about time we had true representation online. Beyond for the black man, woman, and child. So Cam Up.
You see him in debates, but do you follow him? Now's the time to pick a brain, Sonetta calling them. Cam Up podcast, subscribe to him. Hit the bell, cause you know we going live on them. Black love and black power, come and get you some. Cam Up, speak your mind if you're feeling some. No shade, but we honest, so be real about it. No need for clout chasing, so we stay 100.
Cam Up, we gon' make you stand up. Come on, hands up, don't let them break you, stand tough. First you go to college, then you get the knowledge. Just to find out that the knowledge you got isn't polished your song. This channel is iconic. There's some information we can listen to for hours. Camera in the paw, nah, it ain't about the dollars. Nobody do it better. Sonetta brought the scholars. Who you with and is you watching? Or are you stuck in that doctrine? Oh yeah, Cam Up, let's get to talking. The Cam Up podcast.
Damn